All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2026 start of the high school football season. We are glad to have you here as we got a great game on tap here tonight. Charles Trail along with Christian Sunsicki, Scott Carter. Joining us later on the broadcast tonight will be Evan Fermo, and we are so excited to have you with us. Scott, we talked a lot about this game. We know we've got an abbreviated pregame show, but before we jump into your pregame segments, any thoughts before we get going?
Well, first off, this is the best game of the year. It's always everyone's starting at scratch, and it's the first game. It's awesome outside. Everybody's ready to watch the game and be part of the game. St. Francis, a little smaller this year, but their goal was speed, and speed makes up for size, and so that's hopefully the focus. Can't wait to see it.
Hey, well, I don't want to take it away from you, Scott, but we got a new segment for you this year. Before we jump into that, Christian, glad to have you back on another season of Next Level Broadcasting. Everybody's looking forward to seeing you.
Glad to be back for the season opener. We get two of our big schools here up in northern Michigan, Elk Rapids and Traverse City, St. Francis. St. Francis looking to get back to some kind of standard. They hold themselves up higher than everything else around here in northern Michigan, right? They're trying to get back to beating teams by 50 instead of losing by 50. Elk Rapids looking to build on what was kind of an up and down season, but they showed some good outings last year defensively, looking to really just kind of build on a young crew that they had last year and expand on that and maybe take it to a playoff push.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead, step aside. We're going to see the Carter and Associates ensuring victory. We'll step aside and be back after this.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC. We're proud to help connect it to high schools in northern Michigan. You can stay in the game season long. See your Northern connection.
Why are people switching to Surf Internet? They want faster speeds, reliable service, and no hassles. Make the switch today and enjoy Surf's fiber-fast internet like these customers do. Fiber-fast internet plans start at just $30 a month with no contracts and all-in pricing. Visit surfinternet.com.
Well, I got good news and I got bad news. Bad news is it's just about time to put away the grill for the summer. The good news? The good news is it's time for some football. That's right, St. Francis football at its best, coming at you now.
Ensuring Victory is brought to you by Carter & Associates Agency, Farm Bureau Insurance, a Michigan company.
It's always exciting to enter into a new season, Traverse City St. Francis football. Like I said, just right off the grill, ready to go. Let's see some keys to insurance success. Good catch. I've written it down, narrowed it down to a couple things, and these are pretty much elementary. But first and foremost, line play. As we've seen with the Lions, time and time again, when an offensive line is solid, the offense is solid, right? So the great news is we come with three seniors returning, Russell, Eckler, and Carlson at center. That will be key. Carlson's ability to work with a young sophomore quarterback is just going to be important for those seniors to guide that offense and keep them calm when things get hairy and keep them centered when they're doing really well, to just keep crunching and moving forward. Number two will be that backfield, anchored with Sellers and Klassens, helping John St. Peter as a sophomore starting quarterback to succeed and to move forward and just to stay centered. I always like to use the illustration of Peter when he stepped out of the boat. For a second, he walked on water. So as long as they can keep their eyes focused on their goal and their mission, they'll be fine. As soon as he looked down and saw all the waves, he started to sink. If that happens to them, all they have to do, I think, is return to what Coach Sellers has taught them to do in this early season training camp. Finally, it's a new season with a whole new group. Even though many are returning and have been there before, there's just a different dynamic with these other players that have filled in the spots where the seniors from last year have left. So minimize mistakes. Just minimize mistakes. I think in these first games, the teams with the least amount of, self-breakdown and mistakes will be the ones that come away victorious. Here we go. Football season 2026. Play well, play hard, ensure that victory.
This has been Ensuring Victory, brought to you by Carter & Associates, Farm Bureau Insurance, a Michigan company.
Contest would like to show their support and commitment.
And thank you for that piece, Scott. Excellent. Nicely done. And I really like the football in the grill. Do you like a football well done?
Yes, absolutely. You got to have it well done so it's easy to grab, especially on a long pass.
Absolutely. So we want to bring in our Elk Rapids voice of the Elks, Evan. Evan, glad to have you on Next Level Broadcasting.
It sounds exciting. I'm excited to watch some Northern Michigan football.
It certainly will be a great football game, a good way to really showcase what football in Northern Michigan is all about. As we one more time want to thank our friend Scott Carter for the Carter & Associates pregame show here, getting you ready for kickoff. Evan, I know you've been doing a lot of research on Elk Rapids, but hey, when the pads come on, that's when you really find out who the true teams are.
Well, I love what Scott said is that in week one, everybody's 0-0. Everybody's expectation is to get to the playoffs, and everybody wants to find themselves in a good spot early. And it's good for Elk Rapids to find some tests out of the gate, and this is a perfect test against one of the top teams in Division 6.
Absolutely, Evan. And, when you're able to test yourself against the best, I give Elk Rapids a lot of credit for scheduling this game week one. Not only for the varsity, but the Elk Rapids JV won last night, 20-14.
It's impressive because you get to see a lot of different talents early on in seasons, and if you find yourselves looking for some things, it'll be good to find out what you can get on the field.
We're going to send it down to the sideline here as we get ready for our national anthem with the Elk Rapids Marching Band. Elks, take it away.
It's a perfect rendition of the national anthem from the high school marching band here at the home of Elk Rapids. And it is time for kickoff, something we haven't said in many months. It is time to get this season started. And I know, Scott, that you were excited for football, but how excited really are you to see these two teams go to battle today?
Well, I had a comment from I had posted that we were going to be part of this, and one of my colleagues was like, all right, Scott, so really, if they would let you get on the field, how many series could you go? And I feel like, of course, you always feel like you could do the whole game, but yeah, totally excited. I'd be down there if I could. I remember these days, this first game is always one of you got the butterflies, you got the nerves going, and you want your season to be just flawless. And so, yeah, crazy exciting, even though I haven't played in a few decades.
We're going to bring in the fourth member of our broadcast crew here, Christian Swinsicki, who's working the sidelines and the Zoom and Hero Shot camera here tonight. Christian, welcome back in.
I mean, to hear that, the season opener, and to hear Coach Carter here say that it's the butterflies. Everyone's starting at zero. It really is exactly that. Starting at zero, getting back into the swing of things. Everyone's on that level playing field, and all you really have is this and the next 4 quarters of play in front of you. So let's see how the season starts.
Absolutely. So officially the handoff is going to occur here. I'm going to hand it over to Evan. Evan, Elks kicking away to the Gladiators, and here we go.
Oh, here we go indeed. Elk Rapids won the toss. They've elected to defer. The Gladiators are going to get the football first.
Back deep for St. Francis.
And the 2026 football season is underway.
Right out of bounds.
Out of bounds, which is a penalty.
That'll move the ball up to around the 30-yard line.
Not the way you want to start your season, with already with laundry on the floor, on the field. Charles, did we get that dry cleaning client yet? We'll have to keep working.
We got to work on the dry cleaning client. Masters Dry Cleaners, if you're listening, somebody put us in touch. I want to make them a sweet deal for the official sponsor of Throne penalty markers. How about that?
Absolutely.
And St. Francis wants them to kick it again, so we're going to restart with another kickoff.
Especially if they're going to kick to St. Peter. This kid is a stud, even though he's a sophomore. We saw a little bit of him last year, and so they're probably hoping that they'll kick back to him again.
Yeah, he's a little jack of all trades. He's the quarterback. He's on the return team. And the kick's a squib this time. It's still going to go to him. Return from the 25 across the 30. Return across the 35. Broken tackle up across the 40, but stepped out of bounds at the 41-yard line.
What I love about that broken tackle, as you call it, that was him running over another player. We'll have to make sure we can get into those replays, Charles, because that was definitely a nice hit. When you are a running back, the number one thing you want to do is delve out punishment to those trying to tackle you, and that's exactly what he did.
And especially not being as tall and big, really using the size that you have to your advantage and your speed to get around some of these tackles.
So here we see John St. Peter coming out for his first reps as the varsity quarterback here, working behind a pretty senior and veteran-savvy offensive line.
Yeah, as I talked about in the beginning, having those seniors to help him will be great.
Ball's on the ground to start, and it's a good run. Cooper Sellers on the carry, and he's going to be very close to a first down, a yard short. 2nd and 1 coming up from their own 49.
Gain of 9 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and a yard.
You saw it right there, just working quickly off of left guard Scott, establishing the run. Cooper Sellers, the senior running back, he had a good year last year. This year, he's really hoping to put his dancing shoes on in the end zone.
Yeah, clearly one of the things you've seen from last year to this is he put in the work. I'll pause for a moment, but come back to that.
Yeah, 2nd and 1. They go back on the ground. It's another carry by Sellers, and this one is going to go for a first down. They're across midfield for the first time this season to the 47-yard line. Tackle made by Titus Sperry.
And Jake Morin on that one, too.
But it's still enough for a first down.
We're seeing a fast, a quick pace. St. Francis has done the conditioning. They always do. You can always count on that. And so right back to the line to see if they can wear them down.
So 1st and 10. Ball placed to the 47 in plus territory. Takes the snap. They go back to the ground. And this time the carry gets him to the 41-yard line, maybe the 40. And so far, Scott, we've seen some good runs from this Gladiator offense.
Well, you have an offensive line, as I talked about in the pregame. Offensive line with 3 seniors coming back, knowing what's going on, especially when you can have a center that can get down there and identify defenses and all that sort of stuff and just lead from there. So it doesn't surprise me that they'll probably run most of this.
Yeah, John David Carlson at center. He's got 2.5, 3 years of experience on varsity, so makes sense to start this one off on the ground.
2nd down and short coming up here from the 40. Takes the snap. They go back to the ground. The carry this time not as far. Carry taken by Levi Mauma. Tackle made by number 73, Austin Tunn.
Now, I did a little bit of conversating, if you will, with the strength and conditioning coach. He says that Levi Muma is probably the second fastest player on this team, and strong like a bull. So that was definitely illustrated there because they hit him in the backfield, and they still made that a positive gain.
3rd down and 1 from the 38-yard line. Takes the snap. Ball up the middle, and another first down for the Gladiators. Jake Reinick on the carry.
We'd have to look at that replay. I'm pretty sure.
I think it was Muma. My fault.
Muma
I was
right
I was a bad spotter here.
All right.
I got to get a assist to our man Evan and give him a assist here because that was a bad finger point on my job.
It's all right. I just know his parents and family would want to hear his name for sure.
So first down this time, back onto the ground, and this time a good stop by the Elks defensive line. No gain, maybe a yard. That was Hudson Saylor on the tackle.
Yeah, you keep running right up the middle, and they start cheating up to the line, and then you expect to see them open it up with a pass.
I tell you what, Hudson Saylor, man, that kid is an example of country strong. 50 playing that 3-tech position, man. He's got some serious length and size. Looks like St. Francis might be changing the play at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, everybody gets set, takes the snap. They go back to the ground. It's a delayed handoff. Ball gets to the outside. We have flags on the field, and the carry gets all the way to the 23. Colton Peters on the run. But we'll see what the flag is. It looks like it's holding, and it looks like it might be coming back.
Yeah, that one was a very slow developing play, and there seemed to be some issues with the guard pulling around in the backfield with the quarterback and the two handoffs, or the two fake handoffs, as they waited for Peterson to come around. Now, interesting to note, they audibled to that play. Right. So did they not get the correct language, or did they all not know that the play was being changed and all know what to do? So interesting first game jitters maybe.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, early on you're making changes, you're doing lots of things. Now you got players getting off the field, making adjustments last minute. You're going to see a bit of this. Now we go to the pass, see if we can get the Elks to lay off a little bit.
Yeah, St. Peter's out of the shotgun. He's going to keep it, though, and be brought down by a pack of Elks right at the 40-yard line. So they wanted to go out of the shotgun that time. Elk Rapids was not fooled. Tackle made by number 56, Colin Shockley.
So now you've got 3rd and long here. That time they sent trips to the bottom of the formation, Evan and Scott. This is now probably going to be the first pass attempt of the varsity season for quarterback John St. Peter. They've moved the ball well, but does that holding penalty seize up the drive? Let's see if the Gladiators have something here on 3rd and long.
3rd down and long indeed. Needing to get to about the 23-yard line. They sit at the 40. Long pause. St. Peter's takes the snap. He's looking to throw pressure on him. Deep ball down the field, and it's batted away. That's really good job there by Elk Rapids defense. Keegan Keel on the deflection.
Yeah, you had defensive linemen through that line before you even got a chance to put any weight on his front foot. It's hard to throw as a quarterback when you're stepping on you're resting on your back foot. You need to be able to step into that throw. Even then, you look at that arm strength that he displayed right there. That was there. It just well defended.
And you might wonder if it's another one of those early season miscommunications by the offensive line, not getting the blocking correctly there to get quick pressure on the quarterback.
Well, let's not take anything from these Elks defensive linemen. They look like studs as well.
This is likely going to be a pooch punt, gentlemen.
Yeah, we saw this in warm-ups where their quarterback's taking kicks, and St. Peter's is the one that's going to kick it all the way into the end zone, and the ball's going to go as a touchback out to the 20.
Yeah, like you said it earlier, St. Peter definitely a stud from multiple sports. He played on that state championship team for St. Francis, baseball. He was the pitcher, so he can pitch, he can run, he can do all kinds of things, and now we know that he can kick as well.
And one more time, we're going to go ahead and bring back in Christian Swinsicki, who's down there working the sidelines. Christian, the Elks seem to have a crowd that's slowly coming into the stadium. What's the vibe down there like right now?
Crowd's coming in, and they're getting kind of antsy, waiting for this defense to make a play. But Austin Tong made a couple of big defensive stops there from the defensive line in that last series. let's see how he can anchor this offensive line and help pave the way for a score.
Absolutely.
So Joseph Parrish is the quarterback. They're going to go on the ground on the first play out of the shotgun. Carey's going to get him from the 20 to what looks to be maybe the 22-yard line for a short gain. So good job by the defensive line of St. Francis.
A group of defenders, but one that I want to make note is I saw Colton Peterson, who's new to the team this year. It was nice to see him in there just laying some
I want to give a
pain.
special shout out to the freshman starting linebacker, Max Donahue, for the Gladiators. Not too many freshmen start at linebacker for the St. Francis program.
So out of the shotgun on second down, they're going to go back to the ground. The carry will get up to about the 29. Colin McCormick on the carry. And it's going to bring up a third down and about medium at the 25-yard line.
Going back to Max Donahue, this kid is from a family of Donahues, of course. My son played basketball with Casey and Joey. Joey was a stud. Casey played for Duke. So not too surprising to see that he not only has vision on the field, but he knew what to do to get ready for this season.
So an early third down test for the Elks offense. They're going to go wide receivers double to the right of Parrish. Takes the snap. It's a rollout to the right. Looking, throwing back across the middle. Pass is caught. That's going to be a big gainer. Down the sideline is Jake Moore. He's inside the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Elk Rapids.
Wow. Count it off. Elk Rapids puts that one on the board. A 65-yard touchdown. Let's take another look at this one.
It's a great rollout by Parrish and a good throw back across his body. And Moore was gone. Once he broke the safety, there was nobody there to catch him. We could see an extra point to give the Elks an early lead.
How about that? Elk Rapids. Parrish puts it on the money to Moore. And the Elks say, hey, we're going to get on the board here first in 2026.
So extra point attempt coming up here. Early 6-0 lead on an electric downfield play.
How about that to start the season off, Elk Rapids fans?
I mean, some people called them the underdogs in this game, but so far they're looking like they're holding their ground very well through the first drive offensively and defensively.
Lining up for two here as well.
They are going to line up for two. Takes the snap. Parrish looks, throws, middle of the field. Pass is deflected and incomplete.
Well defended.
That's Dazer Penowinski.
Dazer Pitawanakwat intended there, and he was covered by Elias Young, I believe.
I think it was, yes. So going for two on that play didn't work, but still a good drive overall for that Elks offense.
It was a good pass and a good route. It was just well defended. So not as much room there. I think one of the things that made that last play, that 65-yarder, successful was opening up the defense. So you had your line approaching, coming from both ends, and then they come back across the field with a counter route, and that opened wide open.
So with the Elks taking an early 6-0 lead, we're going to step aside here and be back after this 15-second commercial break.
Service and no hassles. Make the switch today and enjoy Surf's fiber-fast internet like these customers do. Fiber-fast internet plans start at just $30 a month with no contracts and all-in pricing. Visit surfinternet.com.
Early good start for the Elk Rapid Elks offense. Now they're going to put their defense back on the field, who put up a goose egg in their first time. Kick is away. It's another squib kick. This one covered at the 30, returned by 31 up to the 42-yard line.
So Muma with the run back on that kick.
And that was Elk Rapids not wanting to get the ball near St. Peter.
Well, I think that's a good idea. However, Muma gets some space. Again, like I said, he's touted as the second fastest on the team. Seems to be the one going straight up the middle, delivering the punishment. Though we'll see how they change things up this series to make some see if they can get some points on the board.
And it's a good starting field position. Once again, they're going to start at the 43-yard line. First and 10, 6-0, Elk Rapids. Motion comes across and Peterson takes the snap. Peters going to keep it, and he is going to get close to a first down. A bunch of good plays there by the defense. The linebacking core there, that was Keegan Keel again. He's had a couple of good plays already in this game. It's a gain of 9 for the quarterback, 2nd and 1.
I like the quarterback lead there, Scott. We saw the first drive really get thwarted by that holding penalty. Come out, get a good positive gain on first down.
I think with a young quarterback, one of the great things you can do is just get him calmed down. And if him using his athletic ability to get some yards on the ground is the way to do it, so be it.
So 2nd down and a yard to go. They're back in that 3 halfback formation. Takes the snap, ball to the ground. No, it's play action. Looks, throws, got a man. Pass is caught. That's Peterson to the 40-yard line. Maybe the 39. It's no matter what. It's a first down. And the Gladiators are in Elk territory.
So that time they executed the PA boot there, just slipped out Peterson into the flats. That's a staple of this St. Francis offense, Scott, and they executed it well there that time.
I feel like that's a Traverse City offense. You're not going to believe this, but when I was a freshman, I played nose guard and I played quarterback, and that was one of our staples was the 5, the 10, and the 15-yard out.
So here we go. After a new set of downs, takes the snap. Peters hands it off, and that is going to be another carry for Cooper Sellers to the 34-yard line. It's a pickup of 6, 2nd and 4 coming up. Tackle made by Luke Schulte.
One of the things we'll notice with Luke, you know, when he takes that handoff from St. Peter, this is a bigger kid than last year. He's up 20 pounds from last year. So not a whole lot of growth. That means is height. That just means he spent the time in the gym and eating right. Well done.
I have a problem eating right, Scott. That's a tough one. Eating right, that's always the hardest one.
Yeah, me too.
2nd down, takes the snap, ball up the middle. It's a carry by Peterson this time, and he's going to get what looks to be just enough for a first down to the 30. And it's another time that they go with a different guy taking the ball on the carry, this time Colton Peterson for the first down.
Doing a good job of mixing up the carries here, as you just said, Evan, as the Gladiators are bringing in some more personnel. Levi Muma has just checked back in. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a touch here on 1st and 10.
Oh, he's had some success running the ball right up the middle against the smaller defensive line of Elk Rapids, but they've been able to hold their own on a couple of these pass plays. Now they just got to find a way to slow down the momentum of the Gladiators. 1st and 10 from the 39. St. Peter out of the shotgun, takes the snap. They're going to go on the end of round to Sellers, and he is going to fight himself through a couple of broken tackles, and he will be close to a first down. Looks like about a yard short, 2nd and 1 at the 20.
I feel like we would have seen a different play last year. Sellers was a stud last year. The kid knows football, obviously. He probably lives it every day, every minute of every day. But there was a patient runner. He waited till it opened up, till the defense gave him something, then he cut. Well run ball there.
And right now, Elk Rapids got to figure out an answer for this run game. St. Francis picking up pretty good yards each time they hand it off.
Now it's Sellers again on the carry on 3rd down, and it's enough for a first down. Tackle made by Brody Turner. But it's a first down, and they're inching closer to that end zone as they find themselves in the red zone for the first time today.
One more time again, I want to say, I didn't get a chance to mention it in the pregame show. First game, penalties are huge, right? So far in this game, we've seen one penalty total. It was a holding penalty against the Gladiators, and it really stalled that first drive they had. Let's see if they can play error-free football here and punch this one in.
Well, in that red zone, sitting at the 17. Takes the snap, and you might have jinxed it, Charles. There's a flag on the play. That's going to be a false start. Back him up 5.
I'm blaming you.
That's fair. That's fair. So that's the 2nd penalty against the Gladiators so far for a total of 15 yards. And we've seen them complete 1 of 2 passes, but at this point in time of the season, I don't know if this is a team that wants to get far behind the chain, Scott.
No, obviously both teams want to play error-free football. We talked about that in the pregame. And, the same applies here. As you said, it was St. Francis that hurt themselves in that first drive, And these penalties will turn things around when you have momentum. They'll take it away from you.
So it sits first and 15. Takes the snap. St. Peter hands it off up the middle. It's Peterson on the carry. Gets inside the 10, maybe down at the 10. That's a good pickup after the false start penalty. Gets him back in range of second and short.
Always nice to be able to take a chunk out of it, knowing you don't have to get it all in one play. Just take a chunk of what you need, break it down. What I love about that, as you look at that replay, how many white jerseys are down there with him, right? So that's going to be key for a smaller team, is downfield blocking, everybody executing, doing what they need to do.
So St. Peter under center again. Everybody gets set on this second and short. It's a handoff to Sellers, and he breaks up the middle and into the end zone. Touchdown, Gladiators. A good answer by Sellers. Just went right up the middle, and this game is tied.
Here you go, Evan. Take another look at this one. So you're going to see they're going to fake it all the way around. Sellers comes in on this second handoff, and an excellent block there. Doing a good job of springing the trap was Isaiah Kerr. Isaiah Kerr, 6'1", 6'3", 210. He might not get the points, but he gets the credit for that excellent block.
Well done.
So that marks that drive off, Scott, with a Cooper Sellers 4-yard touchdown run.
And it's a good answer overall by that Gladiators team after allowing a touchdown on the previous drive. They're just going to kick the extra point this time.
When you can, why not?
Try to take a 7-6 lead. Snap, hold, kick is up, and the kick is good.
So we've got a 7-6 lead. Hey, looks like we've got a football game.
It's been a good one so far, and I bet we're going to get some more football down the stretch. We'll take a quick break here on Next Level Broadcasting, and then the offense of the Elks takes over.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC Airport. We're proud to help keep you connected to high school sports in Northern Michigan, so you can stay in the game all season long with TVC, your Northern Michigan connection.
We got to come.
So a touchdown both ways. A touchdown for Elk Rapids, then a touchdown for Traverse City St. Francis. The only difference so far is that Elk Rapids did not get the 2-point conversion, while Traverse City St. Francis got the extra points. They lead at 7-6.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. I mean, it's one of the things you want to see. If you're going to get any kind of heavyweight fight, you can expect to get punched in the mouth. And if you get punched first, the key is, can you keep moving forward and get resiliency, get back into your game plan, and execute? And that's exactly what they did there. If we get to work together, you'll see that there are a lot of Rocky references. Just life is Rocky.
Good thing I've seen those movies. Kickoff return from the 5-yard line across the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Good run here across the 35.
That's
and
Pete
a really
Olanaquit,
good
man, making an impact.
Run there by Pete Olanaquit. Good starting field position for the Elks.
Donahue having the vision to see where it was coming, didn't over-pursue, made that tackle. I was talking to the strength training coach, Steve, and he was telling me that as a freshman, he came in and benched 235 pounds this year. So, that's pretty good. I was happy to do 3-something in my senior year, and he's already at 235 as a freshman. That's pretty great.
So with this first quarter winding down, offense for the Elks takes the ball, and benching 235 as a freshman is very impressive. I don't think I could do that today, and I'm a sophomore in college.
Well, you can. I have faith in you. You just have to work at it.
The ball goes to the ground to start the second drive offensively for the Elks. Carry by McCormick goes for about 2 or 3 yards. It'll bring up a second down and long, and with 15 seconds to go in this opening quarter, I don't know if we'll see another snap for the Elks.
How about that for an opening quarter, gentlemen?
Yeah, I love it. What I love also to see was Cooper keeping the defender on the inside arm so he could then break free and make that tackle. I'd love to see him drive through the tackle, but he made it. That's all that matters.
So this is the end of the first quarter. The end of the first quarter score, the Gladiators 7, the Elks 6. We're through one. Second quarter action next here on Next Level Broadcasting.
Hey, aren't you supposed to work so hard for us?
What happened?
It's a little fender bender, but Mom already filed a claim with our agent, and we can track the status right from the app. Auto owners pays what they owe without any hassle.
Sounds like simple human sense. Well played.
Ask Bingham Insurance Services in Charlevoix if auto owners make sense.
One.
Start of the second quarter, 7-6 St. Francis. Ball on the ground on the first play for Elk Rapids. And it's a small carry for not a lot of yards, and a third down coming up. Tackle made by Jake Young.
Yeah, Jack Young doing a good job there, just filling the gap, reading the block, not getting caught by the eye candy and the misdirection, Scott.
Yeah, Jack is the voice of the team. He's like the emotion. He'll bring all that. He'll get the team just riled up and ready to go, and it's nice when you do that you can back it up by making a tackle. Well done, Jack.
Big play here for Elk Rapids. I feel like this crowd is murmuring a little bit after they started off like a rocket. Now faced with a pretty big 3rd and 7.
After that massive touchdown to start the game off offensively for the Elks, this crowd has been restless, even when they were on defense.
Parrish works, takes the snap, rolling out, pressures on him right away, and the pass is incomplete.
Looked like it was intended for Peter Wanaquat, just working a little route to the flats. And
Max on the coverage, Donahue.
Yeah. But that's good job by the defensive line of St. Francis, getting home, forcing a missed throw, and now it's 4th down.
It's a good thing, too, because there were some open receivers. So that pressure on the quarterback, I would think that would be essential to each and every pass play, is to make sure they're pressuring him, making it so he can't step into a good pass.
So punt team out there for both sides. And it's a high snap and a little pooch kick that'll get across midfield, and it will bounce at the 40 and die at the 37. And that is where we will see another Gladiator possession.
Yeah, that was close, actually. Again, it's the beginning of the season, so you know, you worry about mistakes happening and things like that. We had some St. Francis guys in the vicinity of that ball. You just want to get out of the way on a poach kick like that. Fortunately, they did. Everything's good. St. Francis takes over.
And now, Scott, how do you want that previous drive to be reenacted for this next drive for the Gladiators? Just keep things as it is? Keep running the ball?
Oh, well, it worked. So why would you change? Yeah, absolutely. Go with the same thing, mixing it up between different runners coming in and out from the sidelines, and pass mixed in there just to keep them on their toes.
So St. Peter under center with that 3 halfback formation, takes the snap. It is a heavy drop. Pressure on him. Off balance throw. It is incomplete. Good pressure there. Pass was intended for Muma.
Yep,
yes.
there you go. But we do have an Elk down.
And it looks like we do have an injured Elk on the field. There was an awkward play with a lot of bodies down at this end, and you don't want to see injuries ever in sports, especially early in the season.
Right. It looked to me, and we can look at that replay, but I would say it looked like one of those things where you're trying to defend a pass, you're turning and you're jumping all at the same time. So easy to come down on an ankle the wrong way. Hopefully it's just something minor and he'll be okay.
We'll see it right here. Here's the replay of the replay. So
I've got
it looked like
he just came
it looked like it was, I believe that Elk who is down is Dezer Peter-Wanaquat, as the coaching staff is coming out to attend to him. He made an acrobatic attempt to try to go up there and intercept that ball. The sophomore, who's a very, very good athlete, a free-ranging safety, is who we believe is being down and looked at right now by the Elk training staff.
And while we're doing that, just if you're watching on YouTube or wherever if you're also watching on Next Level Broadcasting, we do have chats. Keep them coming. I see Nate with quite a bit of excitement.
He's pumped up for the Elks there.
I don't know what that stands for, those letters.
Yeah.
But, that's all right. He's excited about that first touchdown. Chime in there. Let us know that you're watching wherever you're watching from. We'd love to know that. If you're one of my contacts, go ahead and text me. Let me know where you're watching from. Glad to have you here. Super excited to be part of this game.
So while we have an opportunity to do so, we want to thank Traverse Catholic Federal Credit Union. They're celebrating over 76 years of being in business. Just like Gladiator football, TCFCU is your all-in-one financial service provider, helping you invest in yourself and all of those around you. Federally insured and an equal housing lender. That's Traverse Catholic Federal Credit Union. As you see, it is Dezer Peter-Wanaquat getting helped off from the field. Looks to have all mobility in his arms, legs, not really limping or hobbling, but seems to be like he's got some cobwebs.
Well, the way he came down, it could just be one of those cases where he just got the wind knocked out of him.
Let's hope we get to see Dezer later on in the game and hope he can get back.
So we have second down after the incompletion and our injury timeouts. More of that triple running back formation for the Gladiators. They go to the ground. Carry here taken up the middle, and it's going to get him to the 42-yard line. Tackle made by Luke Schulte, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and long.
Now, Schulte, he knows these Glads, right? Because Schulte plays for the Bay Reps. And so he's played with, 4 or 5 of these St. Francis Gladiators that have come over from the Reps to play some football as well. So a little bit of a grudge match right there, knowing your hockey teammate.
And that's the big moment for the Elks defense here, trying to get off the field with a 3-and-out after your offense just went 3-and-out. They're in the shotgun. St. Peter takes the snap. It's play action. He will throw middle of the field. It's Sellers caught right at the sticks. It'll depend on the spot. It is right at that 48-yard line.
I'd say this guy over here is calling first down. We'll see if the other guy concurs.
And they'll give it to him.
Here's the replay here, gentlemen. So you're going to see Sellers actually lines up in the backfield, kind of hides a little bit, and then they sneak him out into the flat. That was a straight drop back, and the Gladiators pick it up.
I'm going to give some credit to Muma on that one. He was the one that dropped back and created that space, so St. Peter had some time to make a good pass. Earlier in that first pass, we saw him just try and jack one up there, and he really should be careful with those. That'll be something he'll develop as he gets older.
And now they sit at midfield once again. First down and 10 at their own 49-yard line. Got some jumping, and we have a flag, and it's going to be offsides against the defense, so a free 5 yards for St. Francis.
And pretty good job so far by Elk Rapids playing penalty-free football. That's their first yellow hanky thrown against them, and it's just 5 yards. So each team doing much better than what I anticipated coming into this game. Only 3 total penalties that I believe so far for a total of 20 yards.
So that brings 2nd and 5 now across midfield at the plus 46. St. Peter going to work out of the shotgun. He's got trips to his left this time and a lone wide receiver to his right. Motion comes. That's Sellers. Takes the snap. They will give it to Sellers. It's a keeper by St. Peter, so he pulls it back. There's a flag on the play. Ball comes out well after the play. Hudson Saylor on the tackle, and we'll see what the flag turns out to be.
Give a little, take a little, give a little, take a little, maybe. It looked like this one I thought was against St. Francis, probably motion.
And it looks to be illegal motion.
Where's he starting from? Come back to the line of scrimmage. There we go. It's early in the season, right? Everybody's getting used to marching off penalties and motion, everything that's involved.
And we're back to where we started, 1st and 10 at their own 49.
All right, let's start over. What do you say? Just go back to 1st and 10.
Just start over this, not the game?
Yeah, not the game. No, I'm liking the game so far, but this drive. go back to 1st and 10 and shake off the cobwebs, see what you can do to make some more happen.
So penalties have been a big part of this possession so far for St. Francis. 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line. Under center, give to Peterson. He's got the edge, wrapped up and brought down after a gain of 8. Tackle made by Colin McCormick. 2nd down and about 2, maybe 3. Looks like 2 coming up.
Earlier I talked about, bringing in a pass because they got their ears pinned back and they're just blitzing in as fast as they can. That is another tool at their disposal to counter that, and it's called the counter because he was the 3rd back that had an option to take that thing. So as a defender, you can't just come barreling in. You have to keep your center, slows you down a little bit, and it worked quite well for them there.
So 2nd down and short for the Gladiators offense. Motion comes again. This is Meemaw, takes the snap. They go to the ground. It's a keeper by St. Peter. He breaks a tackle. We have another flag on the play. It's a 1st down. Luke Schulte on the tackle, but we'll see again what the penalty entails. It was right in the middle of the play, so it could go either way.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the replay here.
Gonna feel like
I think that's going to be a hold.
Sure is.
And it is. So it'll back them up. It's already the 2nd flag of the possession for the Gladiators, and I just can't think Charles coming in being so confident about no penalties, and now we've seen 3 on this one possession.
He keeps saying it, and then it happens.
I know.
So talk a little bit more about me winning the lotto.
I've been saying I wanted a good game, so we're seeing that. But Scott, yeah, you might want to go out there and find yourself a lucky ticket.
I think the first key is I'd have to buy one.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't spend a lot of time doing that. I should probably start.
So backed up a little bit past the original 10-yard chain. It's 2nd and 12. It's a keeper by St. Peter. He's up the middle. He's across midfield and swarmed by a bunch of Elks and brought down right at the 45. So give him 7 and bring us to a 3rd down and 4. Looks like the main tackler there was Caleb Schneider.
I feel bad for Schneider because I watched that one. And St. Peter, he had some speed going. He easily got 2 or 3 yards after contact there. That's what you want to see is good, strong running. Drive those legs, keep going, and get those yards after contact, or the yaks.
The yaks. And as you were saying pregame, you like seeing the speed of this team this year kind of take over.
Well, I know that was a focus for sure in the offseason.
3rd down coming up, takes the snap, ball batted in the air, and that ball is knocked to the ground, almost intercepted.
Wow.
That's a good play by one of the big guys. That's Austin Tone on the deflection and then almost interception.
Yeah, good defense by St. Peter to prevent him from catching that.
I got to tell you, Austin Ton here, just a sophomore, and John St. Peter saves a interception by playing quarterback and then defensive back.
Yeah.
And that was a very headsy play, but a great play by Ton and the Elk defense as they force what's likely going to be a decision for the Gladiators to make here, as we'll step aside here, take a quick 1-minute timeout as the Gladiators determine what they want to do here on Next Level Broadcasting. We'll be back after this.
Speeds, reliable, no hassles. Make the switch today and enjoy Surf's fiber-fast internet like these customers do. Fiber-fast internet plans start at just $30 a month with no contracts and all-in pricing. Visit surfinternet.com.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC Airport. We're proud to help keep you connected to high school sports in Northern Michigan, so you can stay in the game all season long with TVC, your Northern Michigan connection.
So after a timeout by the Gladiators, we see 4th down and about 5 yards to go. In a big situation here early in this game that could be a decider. It's another lineup with 2 wide receivers each way. They bring Peterson in motion. St. Peter takes the snap, rolls out under immediate pressure. He's looking to go somewhere, and he's just going to go down. Sacked at the 49-yard line. A bunch of Elks in pursuit, but of course, again, it's Keegan Keel there for the tackle.
This is one of those situations. He's outside of the box, and so the best play there would have been when he's rolling there, he sees he has nothing. He has a receiver downfield. Just throw it out of bounds. These are things I think as a sophomore quarterback, he's going to learn quickly. I'm told he's a super smart kid, and so I would think that this is a great test for him. When do you hold on? When do you go for it? Because just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Let's bring in Christian Swinsicki with an update on Dazer Petawanakwat. Christian.
Yeah, we've seen trainers massaging Petawanakwat's leg there on the sidelines here ever since he's been injured. No sign as to him even standing up. He's just been sitting on the bench ever since the injury. We've been monitoring and at least keeping an eye on his activity. But Charles, you did mention that there was a little bit of stretching just a couple moments ago, but he's been back and seated with trainers evaluating his leg ever since, and we'll keep an eye on him.
Awesome. Thank you, Christian.
That first play from scrimmage went for just a yard. It was by Brody Turner. So another good run stopping play by the defensive line of the Gladiators. They're going to line up in the shotgun here. Motion, snap, keeper. No, it is a give. It's Colin McCormick on the carry. Gets up the middle. Deked me out there a little bit. Gets to the 42-yard line, 3 yards short. Tackle made by Ike Klassen.
Also, Colton Peterson was in on that. They kind of two-teamed him, if you will, double-teamed him. And nice to see that. You want to have multiple guys on the ball making that tackle. And you'd really like to see them wrap it up and drive them into the ground. So hopefully, as this young team continues to develop, each game they'll get better and get arms around the tackle.
Want to remind everyone, coming up at halftime, we'll have the TVC Cherry Capital Airport halftime show breaking down what's turning into a really exciting first game of the year for both of these clubs.
Parrish is going to work out of the shotgun, takes the snap. He's going to roll out, looking, throwing, sideline. That ball is caught. It's a first down to the 36. Caught by Keegan Keel on a beautiful leaping grab and a good comeback route. Now we do have a penalty on the play. We'll see if this one's coming back. It's at the line of scrimmage. So we'll see what we have. And it's going to be holding against the offense. So a first down's taken away. And now they're going to be backed up from a 3rd and 3 to a 3rd and 13.
It's one of the things to always look for when they have that much time. St. Francis had brought in, it looked to me as though they even brought in a blitz, all picked up nicely. Unfortunately, one of the things that happens in that scenario is you may also be grabby a little bit.
Want to give an update from over in Gaylord at Gaylord St. Mary and versus Pelston, also on nextlevelbroadcasting.net. Gaylord St. Mary up 28-0 at the end of the first quarter. So that one looks like Gaylord St. Mary is off to a pretty comfortable lead there early from Gaylord.
One of my colleagues, Adam Corson's one of their coaches over there.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of repeat players for sure.
Big third down play here, 3rd and long, rolling out left under pressures. Parrish, he's going to be sacked, tackled by Jack Young in the backfield, and it's a big sack there, sending us to a 4th and forever.
Take another look here, gentlemen. Jack Young just climbing, working up the field, pushing the pocket, as they say, crunching the can, as he's going to work from that outside defensive end position, and then the rollout kind of plays right into his hand as he's able to bring down for a sack, first sack of the game for the Gladiators.
Yeah, Parrish helped him there a little bit by running towards him, making that sack a lot easier, but it's going to bring us to a 4th and forever. Punt is away, and it's going to take a bounce, out of bounds, down around the 17-yard line. And that is going to take us to a break. We have ourselves a very good football game here from Elk Rapids, Michigan. We'll continue with the next St. Francis Drive when we come back on Next Level Broadcasting.
Hi, it's Kevin from TVC. We're proud to have you connected to sports Michigan. You can stay all season with TVC, your Northern Michigan connection.
So we have an update on Pete Anaquat. We'll get it after this first play from Christian. Takes the snap. St. Peter's on the ground. Peter is going to run. Gets tripped up at the end. He had a lot of green grass in front of him. Could have been a first down. Brought down after about a gain of 6 yards. Tackle made by Brody Turner.
If Brody Turner doesn't make that one, Evan, I think St. Peter might be taking that one for a long way as we head and send it down to Christian.
Yeah, Deja Anaquat has now back and in his safety position. He was in for that last play. Trainers bandaged up that right leg after they also spent some time massaging it there on the bench. Looks as though he's good and back and playing healthy. We'll see how he handles the injury going through the rest of the game.
Great thing to see there. Thanks, Christian. Ball to the ground again. This is Mima on the carry, and he is getting
Muma,
that's my bad.
Wait a minute, your grandma's out
Is that
there?
is that your grandma? Do you call your grandma that?
Grandma.
I do not.
Nice run.
Yeah.
Muma. It's all good. It's just, sorry.
Yeah, Muma, that's hey.
Just trying to lighten up the booth.
If he makes some more highlight plays, then you'll get it, as that one time Peterson got the carry. But Gladiators going up-tempo there, Scott, as they got that snap off in about 20 seconds after that first down by Numa.
Yeah, I would think that's going to be the case, right? Conditioning. A big aspect to St. Francis ball.
So 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Takes the snap. St. Peter looks, throws, has Peterson. Pass is caught. Awkward tackle. It's a very good tackle by Brody Turner, and Wyatt Schaub is there as well on the play.
A lot of people will want to call for a horse collar tackle there, but you know, that's just simply by taking him down by the neck. Hey, we got Dante, 1515, watching from Traverse City, and then we have someone listening while cutting the grass. That's an option for sure. You got to get the grass done before the weekend.
Thursday night chores.
Yep.
3rd down play, looks, throws. St. Peter has a man. Pass is caught. It's Sellers breaking a tackle, and that broken tackle allows him to get a first down. Tackle made by Luke Schulte, and it is a first down as they close in on midfield again at the 48-yard line.
I tell you what, Cooper Sellers might be lathered up in fish grease because he's so slippery out there. That was a very good move that he put on the open field to get away from the first tackler.
I also like the no look from St. Peter.
So St. Peter's going to want to throw again. Hit as he throws. Ball's out. Back judge calls it incomplete. Colton Shockley on the deflection tackle.
Yeah, forcing the pressure there. Shockley got in there. I think St. Peter's got to work that internal clock in his head a little bit. He was looking to throw a deep corner route as it was a late developing route. And at that point in time, maybe next time he'll just use his athleticism, use his legs to break out containment out of the pocket, because he did have a fairly good-sized running lane there available to him to take.
Yeah, looking for the down-the-field play is always a great first option, but you got to know when to step out of that play and run.
So it's a 2nd down situation. Takes the snap. It is a keeper, and not much coming there. Herd of Elks tackles St. Peter at the 50-yard line, led by Hudson Saylor.
Yeah, Turner in on that one. And so Elk Rapids looks like they're taking a timeout here. As the Elk Rapids are taking a timeout, we're going to keep it right here with you. And we want to tell you about our friends at Timeout St. Francis, excuse me. I want to tell you about our friends at Pop Excavating. Hey, Traverse City, can you dig it? Well, our friends at Pop Excavating sure can, specializing in septic systems, drain fields, building foundations, land clearing, site excavating, snow plowing, and much more. For your next large-scale project, leave the digging to Pop Excavating. Visit popexcavating.com for more information. We also want to give a shout-out to the Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport, our halftime show sponsor. Hey, TVC, if you're dreaming of the sun and the sand, maybe this fall for a getaway, look no further than TVC Cherry Capital, whether it's to the Florida beaches, the Caribbean, or to hit the links in Phoenix. Fly nonstop on Allegiant or with just one stop on American Delta or even United. And let's book that fall vacation getaway today. Maybe, Scott, Thanksgiving plans, if you don't want to grill that turkey in 20-degree weather, there's some nice places in the Caribbean that'll sure accept you.
So I have a wedding on the 12th.
Yep.
So I'm going to miss the 11th because of the rehearsal. And then we're going to go through TVC out to Vegas, where my niece is, just outside of Vegas. So I'll miss the 18th as well.
One more question, Scott. How's that pizza?
Can you tell? Can you hear me? Can you hear me chewing? I'm sorry. I'll stop. It was really good, though.
It sounded good.
Sorry.
Sitting right at midfield, 3 wide receivers to the left side. St. Peter looking to throw. He's got time. Throws off his back foot. Middle of the field. Pass incomplete. Off the hands of Jack Young. He was open in the middle of the field. That's just something that an inexperienced quarterback throws that ball a little bit too high, and it costs him a first down.
I think he knew exactly where he wanted to go there, Evan, and his brain was thinking about it. He saw the route develop. It was the right read. Young was open, just a little high. That's something I'd be willing to bet week 2, week 3, that pass is on the money.
Well, we've seen some of the highs and lows. Like, one of the highs was him protecting that interception play that could have happened in the backfield. We've seen some of the inexperienced plays, but that's something that a sophomore quarterback has so much time to work on. They're going to punt this football here, so another good stop by the Elks defense. Panawanakwa back deep, and the punt almost blocked. This one's going to take a side-winding turn out of bounds around the 21-yard line, where we are going to see this next Elk drive with 54 seconds left in the first half.
Yeah, it's certainly, this first half has flown by. A lot of teams, both teams executing the ground game pretty consistently. Not a lot of offense passing-wise, but so far, I think we're still less than 7 total penalties, so pretty clean first half of football.
You said penalties again. That means we're going to get like 3 on this possession.
Well, with 54 seconds, I'll take the under.
Okay. So the offense starts for the Elks just inside of that 25-yard line. Parrish in the setting sun gets ready to take the snap with 2 wide receivers to his right, 1 to his left. We got a bunch of jumpers, and Charles, you know why I said something about penalties? Because they happen after you say them.
There it is. There it is. You're taking the under.
Now 2 more to go.
Yeah, man, I'm really sweating it now. After there's 1 penalty without a single second coming off the clock. That's going to be a free 5 yards. And let's see if the Elks switch up their play call here. Now 1st and 5, or do they play this conservative with St. Francis only 2 timeouts left?
Now we're about to find out. Looks like it's the same formation. Takes the snap. It will be a throw by Parrish. Slant route, middle of the field, deflected and knocked away by Sellers. That pass could have been picked, and if he picked it, he could have went to the house on that one.
That's one of the ones where you go home at night and you relive it over and over and over in your dreams. He was so close to a pick 6.
Here's the replay of that. Take a look at that one. He was fingertips away from it.
Parrish had time in the backfield. It was just a ball thrown way too high, and it was probably thrown a little late as well.
Yeah, a little behind the receiver, and that's where Sellers was. He had a good chance at it.
I do want to say good to see Peter Wanacquat back out there on the field. He was the intended receiver on that pass play.
And now we sit with just under 50 seconds remaining in this first half. A 2nd down and 5 inside the Elk Rapids 30. They go to the ground. This carry finds its way to about the 35. Looks like they're going to get a first down. Colin McCormick on the carry, and Elijah Jarowski on the tackle.
We got a timeout taken here by Elk Rapids. We're going to go ahead and take a timeout. It's a full timeout, and we'll be back on the other side of this. You're watching high school football on Next Level Broadcasting.
Discover. We make banking secure and convenient with biometric logins and remote deposit capture. Whether you need loans, mortgages, or credit cards, we've got you covered. Manage your finances effortlessly with our online banking services. Grow your savings with our competitive rates and savings products. Experience the difference with Travers Catholic Federal Credit Union. Visit tcfedcu.org for more.
Hey, Dad. Brought you some popcorn. You should relax. You worked so hard for us.
What happened?
It's a little fender bender, but Mom already filed a claim with our agent, and we can track the status right from the app. Auto owners pays what they owe without any hassle.
Sounds like simple human sense. Well played.
Ask Bingham Insurance Services in Charlotte.
So here we go, and we have another flag. That's 2.
I tell you what.
Against Charles.
I'm really sweating it now. I'm really sweating it.
We've had 4 snaps, 2 penalties, and not much time taken off the clock. We have 43 seconds. Officials talking over what this penalty is going to be. It's going to be another offsides, which will turn a 1st and 10 to a 1st and 5 at the 40. And what do the coaches, Scott, need to tell this defensive line for them to stop jumping?
Well, watch the ball. If you're on the defensive line, you're not listening to anything. You're watching that ball. So it's just jitters.
Now it's a low snap, quick throw, and not really anybody in the area. Panawanaquit, the intended receiver. That bad snap led to the bad throw there and the quick pressure on the quarterback. It's 2nd down.
You can't emphasize enough the importance of everybody doing their job, right? And so in that case, like you said, bad snap throws everything else off. You want to have everybody executing at 100%, doing their job. Maybe your job is blocking downfield, whatever it might be. You want all cylinders firing.
So we see 2nd and 5 at the 40. 40 seconds exactly to play here in the first half. Elk Rapids 2 timeouts, 1 timeout for the Gladiators of Traverse City St. Francis. Parrish to the line with his offense. 2 wide receivers to his right. Brings the motion to McCormick. McCormick gets the football. Wants the edge. Another flag. That's 3. And it will put the ball at the 42. And Charles is sweating it back there.
Yeah, that's 3.
That's 3.
You're still good? He thinks he's still good, but we still have time. Yeah, so that one's going to be holding on the Elks. Bring it back.
So we've seen 2 offsides and a holding. So the offensive and defensive lines have kind of been the issue on this drive so far.
I mean, if we're being honest, this series right here has had a lot of yards. At least 70 yards, I think. But it's been back and forth between the penalties. So 10 this way, 10 that way. It's, not what coaches want to have going into the locker room.
2nd and 15 at the 30. 34.8 seconds remaining as the Elks break the huddle. They go 2 wide receivers to the left side of the quarterback, Parrish. You got 1 to the right, lined up just off that outside tackle. Motion is McCormick. They go to the ground, carry up the middle, and that's going to get them back inside of that 10-yard range. Carry by Brody Turner brings us to a 3rd down and about 8 yards. Neither team stopping the clock as it's down to 20 seconds now.
Charles is holding on, hoping not to see one more penalty. One of the things we saw there was the defense just crashing around the outside, opening up the inside where the linebacker has to make sure he reads the guard properly and makes that tackle. And instead, the guard came out and made that block.
So timeout's going to be called by Elk Rapids with the clock all the way down to 4.9 seconds. Elk Rapids does get the ball to start the second half, so they're going to probably try to go for one more big play here to end the first half, or they still trail this game 7-6.
I mean, I guess the thought process is you're at the 39. You can open one up, and if they do intercept it, you have your whole team to help prevent that turning into something, and the clock will run out. So why not go for it, I guess? I wouldn't want to go into personally, if I were coaching, I wouldn't want to go into the locker room having just passed an interception. However, the upside is you go in with that score, taking the wind out of the sails of the other team maybe a little bit.
But we've seen a very defensive first half here, so an interception by the defenses could keep that momentum going into the second half. So that's something you got to be careful with if you're this Elk Rapids offense.
Well, I mean, the other side of it, of course, that first score was a 70-yard touchdown.
Yes, which that is true.
So you run that crossing pattern, hope to catch the defense of St. Francis off guard, not ready for it, and you got 3 back deep, anticipating. I guess that would be a prevent defense, or they're back thinking there's going to be a kick.
takes the snap. It's a rollout, looking, throwing. Penawanaquet down the sideline. That's a lot of contact. That's number 4 on this drive alone for a flag. Charles has lost our daily game of over and under, and that is going to be pass interference against the defense.
It was definitely a lot of hands play. I should have asked for a replay on that.
Elias Young with the DPI call.
Yeah, I mean, offensively, he's all over Young, and then Young, had he kept his arms without the extending of the arms and then the fall, probably would have got away with that because the hand play was coming from both sides.
Now there's 0 seconds on the clock because of the defensive penalty. We're going to get one untimed down. And see, now that you're closer, you're only 46 yards away from the end zone now after that penalty. Try to do something similar, maybe try to get the penalty again and keep moving yourself down the field.
With our three defenders way back, and they ran to the sideline, obviously thinking maybe we can cut a piece of this off, get out of bounds, stop the clock. It'll be interesting to see what we do here. Trips left, yeah.
Trips to the left side indeed. Extra lineman plus the back. Takes the snap. Rolling out, looking, throwing. That ball is overthrown, intended for Penawanaquet, and that is going to bring this first half to a close. Your halftime score, Elk Rapids 6, Traverse City St. Francis 7. We will be back for our halftime show in just a moment. You are watching Next Level Broadcasting.
Now it's Jimmy $5.99 the Pepe. An 8-inch sandwich for $5.99. What is this, the 90s? Hold on, my CD's skipping. The $5.99 sandwich deal at Jimmy John's. Oh, that's good.
So are you doing anything special for your kid's grad party? No, I don't have anything planned. What did you do?
We had Next Level Broadcasting make us a career highlights video for our son and daughter.
They did all the editing, sourcing, and then emailed it when it was finished. It turned out great. And we didn't have to deal with the video editing frustration.
Wow, what a cool idea. I bet my son would love something like that. I'll have to reach out to Next Level Broadcasting and see what they can do for me.
Hey, Dad, brought you some popcorn. You should relax. You worked so hard for us.
What happened?
It's a little fender bender, but Mom already filed a claim with our agent, and we can track the status right from the app. Auto owners pays what they owe without any hassle.
Sounds like simple human sense. Well played.
Ask Bingham Insurance Services in Charlevoix if auto owners make sense for you.
Discover Traverse Catholic Federal Credit Union in Traverse City. We make banking secure and convenient with biometric logins and remote deposit capture. Whether you need loans, mortgages, or credit cards, we've got you covered. Manage your finances effortlessly with our online banking services. Grow your savings with our competitive rates and savings products. Experience the difference with Traverse Catholic Federal Credit Union. Visit tcfedcu.org for more.
Hi, I'm Orion, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installations, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike other service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding your gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC Airport. We're proud to help keep you connected to high school sports in Northern Michigan. so you can stay in the game all season long with TVC, your Northern Michigan connection.
Why are people switching to Surf Internet? They want faster speeds, reliable service, and no hassles. Make the switch today and enjoy Surf's fiber-fast internet like these customers do. Fiber-fast internet plans start at just $30 a month with no contracts and all-in pricing. Visit surfinternet.com.
Hey, Dad, brought you some popcorn. You should relax. You worked so hard for us.
What happened?
It's a little fender bender, but Mom already filed a claim with our agent, and we can track the status right from the app. Auto owners pays what they owe without any hassle.
Sounds like simple human sense. Well played.
Ask Bingham Insurance Services in Charlevoix if auto owners make sense for you.
Discover Traverse Catholic Federal Credit Union in Traverse City. We make banking secure and convenient with biometric logins and remote deposit capture. Whether you need loans, mortgages, or credit cards, we've got you covered. Manage your finances effortlessly with our online banking services. Grow your savings with our competitive rates and savings products. Experience the difference with Traverse Catholic Federal Credit Union. Visit tcfedcu.org for more.
So are you doing anything special for your kid's grad party? No, I don't have anything planned. What did you do?
We had Next Level Broadcasting make us a career highlights video for our son and daughter.
They did all the editing, sourcing, and then emailed it when it was finished. It turned out great. And we didn't have to deal with the video editing frustration.
Wow, what a cool idea. I bet my son would love something like that. I'll have to reach out to Next Level Broadcasting and see what they can do for me.
Now at Jimmy John's, for just $5.99, you can get a Vito, Turkey Tom, or the Pepe. An 8-inch sandwich for $5.99. What is this, the 90s? Hold on, my CD's skipping. The $5.99 sandwich deal at Jimmy John's. Oh, that's good.
Hi, I'm Orion, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installations, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike other service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding your gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport and Bingham Insurance Halftime Show. Charles Trail along with Scott Carter and Christian Swinsicki. We've got a beauty of a game, 7-6, Gladiators up by a single digit. Christian, you've been down there working the sidelines so far. First and foremost, update on Deja Peter Wanacart. Looks to be okay.
Oh, yeah, he's been playing, looks like 100% full speed ever since he's been out with that injury, or ever since he's gone back in after following that injury. My apologies. But he's been playing with what looks like no restrictions, no limitations, no limping on that right leg. And I did mention that it is a little bit bandaged up. Like I said, we'll keep an eye on it, but he looks to be okay right now.
Absolutely. Scott, one of the big things that you talked about in your ensuring victory for the pregame show today was the play of the Gladiator offensive line. And right now it seems like Elk Rapids is being able to kind of match them up front in the battle of the trenches.
Yeah, well, those are some larger gents there in the defensive line of the Elks. And what we're seeing is they're penetrating, especially early on. They just pin their ears back, and they're just penetrating through that offensive line and kind of mixing things up. So St. Francis then in the second series had to kind of sharpen how quickly they were off the ball on the snap and make some better blocks and maintain those blocks. And we saw that in that second series.
And to look at on the defensive side of the Elks, like you were saying there, Coach, is that the two players that have stuck out to me on the defensive side, one of them being a sophomore. First one, Brody Turner, the junior, number 34 for the Elks, playing very good out of that linebacker spot. But Austin Ton.
73, man. He almost had that deflection interception.
Yes, big 73, and he is the sophomore, and he is bigger than most of the kids on the field right now.
Well, when he can get in there and put his arms up like that, that's one of those times where a young quarterback has to learn either throw it away or take the sack. It's okay, right? You'll live another day. But you throw that over, try and throw over a tree, quite often those limbs are going to get in the way. And fortunately for John St. Peter, he was able to, play some defense. As soon as he threw that ball, he switched to a defender and stopped that from being an interception.
And that's another talking point about this game. How about the super sophomores being featured in this one? We have John St. Peter, Oliver Hayes for the Gladiators to mention, and both getting the start on offense. And then, Christian, you said Austin Ton, but also Deja Peter Wanacart for the sophomore phenoms for
Joseph Parrish.
And then Joseph Parrish. So 3 sophomores all making impacts for Elk Rapids, 2 sophomores starting on offense for the Gladiators. And then, obviously, you have Max Donahue, the freshman, who started at weak side linebacker for St. Francis tonight as well.
And, as much as we're, having a ball about with the sophomores right now, I would actually, going into the second half of this game, I'd like to see some seniors step up for the Elks. Keegan Keel.
Big-time player so far.
Oh, last year he was one of their playmakers. Now he is one of the feature playmakers.
Yep.
We need to see, I think, more from Keegan Keel.
And he made a critical 4th down play. The Gladiators had it just the plus side of midfield, and Keel came in, tracked down John St. Peter. I think Elk Rapids, if you're Elk Rapids right now, you've got through 2 quarters against the 5th-ranked team in Division 6 in Traverse City St. Francis. You're feeling good. Any type of butterflies, those are gone. And right now, we've got a ball game here, folks.
Well, and, if you're the Gladiators, like you've just mentioned, you have one of those top 5, top 10 rankings on some online charts. In the Elks, they weren't close by those same metrics. So, how do the Elks look at that going into the second half? How do the Glads look at that going into the second half?
One of the great I tell a lot of stories about my past, and one of the greats was Jim Woolley. He was our coach. We came into the season in the Detroit Free Press, rated #1, and he held it up and he said, "What do you think, guys?" And we were all super excited. He said, "You know what I think?" And he lit it on fire, and he threw it on the ground. He said, "That's what I think of that. This means nothing. That rating, that online rating, means absolutely nothing till you get on the field and prove it." And I think going back to your point about the seniors, last year they weren't the seniors, right? They weren't the leaders, perhaps. They were following. So now their role has to morph into being that leadership. And sometimes that can be a challenge to, now I have to take over and lead. Mm-hmm. And so that's, I think, why we're seeing so much impact from these younger players in this first game. How they make that adjustment throughout the season in both sides, in both teams, how they adjust these seniors into leadership roles and how quickly their underclassmen get up to speed will determine how well they do.
And it's only game one, right?
Right.
We still have the whole rest of the season left where they're gonna grow and they're gonna develop, and they are gonna grow into those leadership roles right alongside growing into those game managing roles, those actual role playing moments in the game. So it's all gonna come together.
So
here.
Christian, your prediction for the second half? What do you think we're going to see for Elk Rapids?
I think Elk Rapids is going to continue with this high energy, high physicality defense. I'm liking how their sophomores are not scared of answering the
Right.
calls. Like we were talking about in the pregame, St. Francis has the standard that they're trying to get back to this year.
Yeah.
The Elks, hey, they're here to spoil.
Scott, 15 seconds. Your prediction for the second half for the Gladiators?
Well, we're going to see more defense. We're going to see lots of hands. Max Donahue, that kid has been watching his brothers play since he could barely walk.
Yeah.
And so he's been just dying to have this moment. And so we'll see we're going to see a lot of battle in the crunch zone.
Absolutely. Battle in the trenches.
Trenches.
We're going to wrap this one up. This has been the Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport and Bingham Insurance Halftime Show. Back to live action out on the field. Christian, we'll send you back down there. Continue helping us out with that information gathering. We really appreciate it. We'll bring Evan back in. Here we go. Ready for some football. Elks going to be receiving this third quarter kickoff. Gladiators will be sending it away. As we look back down at the field, thank you so much for joining us once again, Christian.
Yeah, thanks for having me up here in the booth, guys. It's not as cold up here.
Well, we wait till October comes. We got some nice new thick jackets this year. Can't wait.
So second half action ready to get started here. Elk Rapids, Traverse City St. Francis. And Scott, let me ask you this. Defensively, we've seen an incredible ball game so far. Out of the locker room, everybody's probably a little bit stiffer. They're not on the field running as much. How do you want to see Traverse City St. Francis defend this opening possession?
Well, again, it comes back to that line play. When you're blitzing around the outside, you need your interior line to be solid, and you need your linebackers, who are young, to be able to read the guard. The guard pulls you're going with that guard. You're reading all your keys come to you from the guard that's in front of you. So just a matter of them listening or reading what's in front of them. Basically, you hear them talk about offense took what the defense will give them. Well, vice versa. The defense has to read what the offense is showing and play accordingly.
So we are ready for the second half kick. Traverse City St. Francis 7, Elk Rapids 6. And we got 2 quarters left to decide who's going to win this week 1 football game.
We got some listeners in Traverse City and watchers. Mr. Quinte, oh, I cannot believe. Dominic, I can't believe I just blew that. It's the pressure being online.
This one's going to be returned from the 10, 15, 20, 25 range and tackled there. So routine starting field position for the Elks here as they get ready to go with Parrish. Yeah. As we get ready for this first possession. Offense has to be very good for the Elks out of the gate if they want to take the lead, because they are down despite being touchdown to touchdown. They are down because of that failed 2-point conversion early on.
Right. So this will be key for them to get out here on the field, put together a nice drive. Again, their successful drive was based on one large broken play. See if they can string together a bunch of good plays to make some points here.
So Parrish works out of the shotgun, and we've got movement on the offensive line to start.
Oh, he's doing push-ups now. Come on,
He's got
get
push-ups
up.
for the.
No.
He's trying to discipline himself on the field. Knows that he shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, well, not 5 push-ups. Wait till after and do 10 for every time.
That was Jake Moore doing the push-ups down on the field.
All right. I get it. I get the sentiment for sure. But you're going to want to just be disciplined and not worry about that. You came out of the huddle. They told you what the count was. You're just fired up. Again, first game jitters. You're fired up to just get off the ball and make a good hit. He's got Ike Klassen's a hockey player across from him. Ike's used to putting people into the boards.
So, Christian, how should they respond here after that opening penalty?
After the opening penalty, I mean, right back on the ground here. That's McCormick, left side. Not going to get far after the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a couple, but looking to actually get, like you were saying there, Coach, string a couple of plays together. They had that one big broken play that was that went for 65 yards earlier for the touchdown. But outside of that, the offense has been pretty stagnant.
Right. It's been one penalty after the next, or a misplay, misblock. So you're just looking for your team to respond and put everything together, all the little pieces.
So a loss of 3 on first down, 2nd down and 13 at the 22-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the right side, 1 lined up to the left. Motion comes, takes the snap. It is an end-of-round handoff and brought down in the backfield again is Panawanakwe Colton Peters on the tackle.
Yeah, Peterson on
Or
that
Peterson.
tackle. I was over here watching Donahue. Great job. You know, as a defensive back, your first step is back, and he was very quick to then make that shift to go up and help and be in the area for that tackle.
I feel like we've heard Donahue's name a lot today on that defense.
And I think we will all night, all season.
He's one of the leaders of this football team, especially showing himself early on in some of these games. And it's a 3rd and a long 16 for this Elk Rapids offense. They line up trips to the right side of Parrish. Nobody to the left. Takes the snap, rolls out, looking, throwing off his back foot, batted away. That's Colton Peterson again, and it's incomplete, and it's a quick 3 and out for the Elks offense to start this second half.
Peterson there got to be like the spy, if you will, and he dropped back in coverage and just watched the quarterback's eyes. So that's why he had a good jump on that. It was actually a linebacker in coverage. It was a good thing it was an overthrow because the receiver was open.
So a quick 3 and out, 4th down and 16, and a punt coming up here for the Elks. Ball's away. Sellers returning it from their own 48, and this is a good return. Running to the outside, breaking tackles inside the 30, inside the 25, wrapped up and taken down at the 22-yard line. So this is going to be outstanding field position thanks to a really good return by Sellers.
I really would love to call out a whole bunch of numbers on this one. If you could see that replay, what you're going to see is downfield blocking. Guys picking up their block and sticking with it. I mean, Colton Peterson was over here on this side of the field still blocking his guy 10 yards, 20-some yards away from the play. Love to see that by all these young players.
Now, this is bad news for this Elks defense. Backed up early on this possession. 1st and 10 at the plus 22-yard line. Takes the snap. Peterson on the carry. Gets inside the 20 and brought down at the 18-yard line. So another run. They've been working in a bunch of different running backs, and it seems to still be working as we get this 3rd quarter going. They're right back to the line. St. Peter is under center. 3 backs, takes the snap, quick handoff, and ripped down in the backfield. Great play by Colin Shockley. That's just him blowing up the middle of that offensive line, running right through and getting a TFL.
When you're a defensive coordinator, you have these strong left, strong right, your shading, your swim technique. That one, he just did his step and rip to the right, and there he was, right in the gap. It was perfectly called and worked out well.
So now it's 3rd down and 7 at the 19. Quickly into formation, takes the snap. Peterson on the carry, breaks a couple of tackles, and he will be ripped down on a nice, strong tackle at the 16-yard line. 4th down and about medium coming up. How aggressive does St. Francis want to be here as they now have a big 4th down opportunity early to start this 3rd quarter?
Well, what's the alternative, right? You're not going to punt here, and that's a long field goal. So you're probably going to go for it. What I would love to see is them going on 2.
Yeah, I was just going to say, really got to watch the hard count here. This is one where it's almost like a dead giveaway here of a hard count being a possibility. Get up there, get right under center, hut, and see if you can get a free 5. Oh, snap it.
They're going to do a quick snap. It's going to be a throw by St. Peter. He's going to the end zone, and it is deflected in the air and almost brought in, but it falls incomplete. It is a turnover on downs and a great stop by the Elks defense.
Looks like it.
And if we...
Yeah, it's just going to be a turnover on downs there as we are trying to bring that replay back in there. He had an open man. It appeared like he was trying to find Levi Muma in the corner route, and just slow developing route. Saw him, had it, just unable to execute there.
So that's a big stop for this Elks team. Now they have the football again after going 3 and out their first time. Good stop defensively as they start at the 17. Takes the snap, looking, throwing. Pass is caught by Penawanaquit. That is going to get him to the 24-yard line. Penawanaquit on the reception. Tackle made by Levi Muma.
Wickern was in there for that play, and, you know, they must have said just give him plenty of cushion. He was back quite a bit, and that allowed the defender to cut his route short underneath the under the coverage and make that a few yards after reception. Now we have Colton Davison back in there.
So it's second down and about 3.5. Still only one score each way. The only difference, a unsuccessful 2-point conversion on that opening touchdown drive. Takes the snap. They go to the ground with McCormick, who's got the edge. We got a flag coming, with multiple flags coming. And I think they're going to come for the same reason. Might have saw a face mask at the end of the play, but I think the original flags were going to come for holding.
Yeah. Saw Frederick in on that play, back playing linebacker. I hadn't seen that yet this evening, but I haven't been paying attention to everyone. So nice to see him part of the play as a junior. Looks like I was told he's been in the gym all summer long, put on 10 pounds of muscle. So Coach Steve was pretty impressed with that work ethic.
So that's going to back them up quite a ways. They're going to be pinned towards their goal line. 2nd and 13. Well, it's going to be further than that. I don't know, about 2nd and 13, it looks like.
No, I think you nailed it. 2nd and 13.
Yeah. But they're pinned at about the 15.
Oh,
and
there
we
we go
got
again.
another movement on that offensive line, and Elk Rapids is going backwards on most of these plays to start. Oh, never mind. I thought they were initially signaling off. Okay, so they are calling it an offsides. So it's offsides, which is going to move them forward. It's the first mistake penalty-wise for Traverse City St. Francis in the second half. They initially looked like they were going to call that a false start. So now they sit inside of a 2nd down and 8. Takes the snap, looking, throwing. Pass is caught. Catch made by Jake Moore, tackled by Cooper Sellers, who has been all over this game today. And it's going to be a 3rd and short now for the Elks.
Tough coverage for Coop. His receiver was coming out on a flag route, and that wasn't underneath. Fortunately, he was able to get off his receiver and make that tackle. Nice job.
Well, hey, while we have an opportunity to do so, whether the games are home or away, hey, the real hunger, Scott, you proved it earlier, is hunger. And feeding the family with Jimmy John's is your go-to play call on the parenting call sheet. So when it's all on the line this fall, trust your family feeding frenzy to Jimmy John's in Traverse City.
I love Jimmy John's. Takes the snap, ball to the ground. It's a carry that's going to lead for what looks to be very close to a first down. It'll depend on the official spot of the football. Looks to be maybe a tad short.
Yeah, it was Levi Muma who came in there late and kind of put his shoulder down into the ball carrier, and it's 4th and call it a yard. So decision time here on their own 30 or 26-yard line for Elk Rapids. I imagine you got to punt this thing away.
Yeah, you're 1 point away. It's a 1-point game. You're not going to take chances right here.
Maybe I like Dan Campbell a little bit too much, but I feel like this would be maybe something to throw him off guard here, and maybe you should go for it. Now, it doesn't look like they're going to do that with the punt formation breaking out of the huddle. But there's nobody back deep until Sellers retreats for St. Francis. And they do, in fact, boot it away. Sellers on a hop. Catches it at the 35, breaks a tackle, and slips down at the 40. And we're going to get a flag as well on the play.
Block on the back.
Looks like a legal block in the back. Penawanaquit with the tackle.
Yep. So when you're bringing in young players and giving them an opportunity, you just want to make a hit. As a young player, you just want to get in there and hit somebody. Unfortunately, on something like that, that would have been a time not to make that hit, obviously. He got past him, and that's what happened. So shout out also, Herb Lemcool chimed in, said he's listening. Mr. Lemcool, thanks for being here and watching, actually.
Got anybody else on the chat line? Let's see if we can bring that chat line in here on the YouTube channel.
Oh, all right, so I gotta say this name right because I screwed it up, and it's so rude. Dominique Quintanilla. His son Max was a trumpeter last year, and a good friend of mine. So nice to see him there. And Andy Wolf, of course, listening from Lake Ann, watching. Why do I keep saying listening? Because
I don't know.
Because the one person was mowing their lawn and just listening. So I'm stuck on that. But definitely they're watching.
Now back to the action. First play from scrimmage for St. Peter and this Gladiator offense. Takes the snap. He's going to keep it right out of the gate. Breaks a tackle. Almost looked like he lost the football for a second. But he's able to find himself up to the 45-yard line, tackled by a herd of Elks. It's second down.
A herd of Elks. I see what you did there. I love that. Yeah, that tackle was right exactly where he was holding that ball, and that could have been dangerous. So fortunately, he's got a strong, firm grip on that and was able to maintain possession of the ball.
It's just one of these teams is going to have to throw a punch here at some point. We know it's a 1-point lead for the Gladiators, but they got to find themselves – one side's got to find themselves to try to pull away, because if we get late, as there's a little breakaway on the big run by
Frederick.
Yeah. It's Frederick on the carry.
So, he spent the whole summer as a caddy. So clearly he was carrying bags and got strong.
Yeah, and that was, I believe, one of his first carries of the game. They just popped that one in there, quick hitter. And that was one that the Elks, I think, were taken off guard by.
Yeah, he broke a couple of tackles on that play.
Nice play.
And he found himself with a first down. So they sit 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And they are marching down the field once again. 4:08 to play and counting in this third quarter, week 1. The high school football season. Takes a snap. They go on the ground for Sellers. And broken to the ground. What a sack by Jake Moore.
Yeah, he got in there. TFL for a 3-yard loss. Jake Moore watching the guard and reading the guard, just following where his footsteps let him go, and he brought that one down. That play was going nowhere. Well done by the senior Jake Moore.
Yeah, that's one of those Merry Christmas moments where you just all of a sudden there you are, and here is the receiver. You got to love those when they happen. Playing off the edge sometimes opens you up for that kind of stuff.
So that backs him up. 2nd down and long. Takes the snap. They go right back to Sellers. He breaks a tackle in the backfield. Gets back. Breaks free. And he's going down the sideline. Sellers inside the 20. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Gladiators. A 55-yard run for Sellers.
Yeah, nice to see that. It's interesting. It was almost a chance for redemption, right? Moore had made that great on the edge tackle, and this time, unfortunately for him, if you're an Elk Rapids fan, he missed, and that opened up Sellers to get some speed. And again, this team has been working on speed, and that's what opened up that run for 55 yards.
So that's the second of 3 touchdowns that have gone for more than 50 yards so far in the game. How about that on the bingo card for game 1 of the 2026 season?
Well, it does stand kind of to reason that if you're going to have breakdowns in coverage, and those opportunities are there.
Extra point attempt coming up here. Tyler Stammy on the kick. Snap, hold, kick is up. Kick is good. And it is a 14-6 game with 3:12 to play in the third quarter. We will step aside. Elk Rapids gets the football when we come back. You are watching Next Level Broadcasting.
Now at Jimmy John's, for just $5.99, you can get a Vito, Turkey Tom, or the Pepe. An 8-inch sandwich for $5.99. What is this, the 90s? Hold on, my CD's skipping. The $5.99 sandwich deal at Jimmy John's. Oh, that's good.
Hi, I'm Orion, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installations, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike other service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding your gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
Wow, look at that full moon here in northern Michigan. Apparently there's supposed to be some sort of partial lunar eclipse today as well as we...
Oh, yes, and the Northern Lights.
Yeah, so there's supposed to be some cool things. So people watching at home, go out and check the skies tonight. You might see some cool stuff. Ball's away, 14-6 is our score. This one we return from the 12. It's Panawanaquat on the return up across the 25, and he's going to get out of bounds at about the 30.
Great run back.
I mean, he did something out of nothing there. Just making the first man miss, getting slippery, as I like to say, and just making it so hard for the defense to track you down. Christian, you're down there on the sideline again. What are the vibes like on this Elk Rapids sideline right now?
I mean, they're still electric here, even after that touchdown, even after that last touchdown from the Glads. We saw the crowd here in Elk Rapids sideline, at least, still having a lot of energy, still taunting the Glads. It's almost like they understand that, you know, they are the underdog coming into this, but, you know, they are not feeling that way here on the sidelines. They're still fighting from what they would say is an even playing ground.
So here we go. First play from that possession. Good thing for Elk Rapids, it's still just a one-score game. Takes the snap, they go to the ground, and this carry is just contained right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there. That play was led by Declan Gallagher and Elijah Jarkowski.
Yeah, both of those guys there, Evan, just getting in there, making it happen for call it a 1-yard tackle for loss.
Ike Klassen's coming off the edge to contain that, him and a couple other defenders. But, you know, Ike is Bo's cousin, also a hockey player.
Okay.
And I love that you can see as a hockey player he has good balance because he's playing the edge, and you got to make sure that you're not letting him get into you, and he's done a great job of just maintaining that edge.
Still not a lot of offensive movement in this second half from Elk Rapids. They go to the ground again with McCormick, and again, he's met by a bunch of bodies right at the line of scrimmage. You can see a little bit of Parrish shaking his head as he walks over to get the next play. Not really happy with what the offensive line has shown. That last tackle by Joseph Mitchell, Joseph Mitchell on the play, brings us to a third down and about 10.5, third down and about 11.
That is that kind of play is what makes Joseph loud on the field. I'm told he's very much a quiet leader. He's not the one that's vocal, cheering up, rousing up the team. Just gets in there and does the work in the weight room and on the field.
So third down and about 10 yards, 11 yards to go. Third quarter winding down here from Elk Rapids, Michigan. Week 1 of the high school football season. Parrish out of the shotgun. He's got two wide receivers to his left. Looks, throws, has his in route. That is caught on the slant route. That is Keegan Keel on the reception and Elias Young on the tackle. It's going to bring another decision here. 4th and 3.5, 4 yards.
Yeah, that was good on good right there. A nice crisp route and an even better open field one-on-one tackle by Young. Typically, tackling is one of the areas that isn't along for the ride in week 1. Yeah. And that was a very good job of tackling there by Young.
Well, it looks like they're going to punt here. Maybe this would have been a decision to go for it, but they're going to keep this.
Well, especially when that's your punt.
It will take a Elk roll. But
small Elk roll.
Yeah.
The ball will be placed at the 41 with about 35-ish seconds remaining in this third of 4 quarters.
I want to give a shout out on the text-in line. Jessica Alcorn saying, Next Level Broadcasting is so back. Yes, we are. It's great to be back. Great to be back in the booth with you again, Scott. And
oh my gosh.
Want to give a huge shout out to some of our old crew members here, Christian Swinsicki, Ryan Bentley, but also some of our new faces. with Evan, Cameron, who's running the production, and then our man also running and switching scenes back here behind us, Quinton, as we're bringing you football back to the comfort of wherever you find comfort, once again here all season long.
When you said old, at first I thought you were going to point at me.
Oh, no. It goes by seniority within Next Level Broadcasting.
I love that.
St. Peter's brings the motion across, takes the snap. He will keep it, and he's got running room, hit hard and brought down right at the 50-yard line, maybe a little past that 50-yard line. It's Brody Turner again coming up with a big play.
That was a huge collision there, Scott.
Yeah, again, St. Peter, when he gets rolling, he is a force to reckon with. So you best wrap him up, and I would prefer, if I'm that defensive coach for the Elks, get low, get to his legs, take him out that way.
So we have just under 10 seconds remaining in this third quarter. It doesn't look like we're going to see another snap, so it's all going to come down to the final 15 minutes here in Elk Rapids. Your score as we go to the fourth quarter is Traverse City St. Francis 14, Elk Rapid Elks 6. We'll be back on Next Level Broadcasting in just a moment.
Now at Jimmy John's for just an 8 for 5. What is this, the 90s? Hold on, my CD's skipping. The $5.99 sandwich deal at Jimmy John's. Oh, that's good.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC Airport. We're proud to help keep you connected to high school sports in Northern Michigan, so you can stay in the game all season long with TVC, your Northern Michigan connection.
Why are people switching to Surf Internet? They want faster speeds, reliable service, and no hassles. Make the switch today and enjoy Surf's fiber-fast internet like these customers do. Fiber-fast internet plans start at just $30 a month with no contracts and all-in pricing. Visit surfinternet.com.
Today's game has been brought to you by Alpers Excavating, Bingham Insurance Services Auto Owners, Professional Seamless Gutters, TVC.
Start of the fourth quarter, right at midfield for this Gladiator offense. It's a handoff up the middle, and it's a gain of 5 to start the drive. It is enough for a first down. Tackle made by Hudson Saylor. And it's just, again, this offense of Traverse City St. Francis just continuing to run the football. And when teams run the football like this, it wears down that defensive line. As it looks like we have an injured player down for the Elks for the second time today. They have an injury.
Yeah, that's going to be number 56, Colin Shockley, the senior, holding that right leg.
Definitely looks like a cramp.
He was one of the ones that in on that last tackle also there, Charles. And
yeah, we see him. He's getting worked out by one of his teammates there, coming over as Brody Turner to help stretch him out. You learned that in your kinesiology class, that the best way to work a cramp out is to go find a teammate.
There you go. It's warm out. Maybe hydration is an issue. All these kind of things will come into play in an early game like this. And you're not normally playing in the, the heat.
Right.
So, cramps are not something we would be surprised with. And hopefully that's all it is, and he's back out there.
We will say right now in Elk Rapids, a relatively not as hot week 1, 65 degrees right now out on the field. You'd imagine those playing conditions might be a little hotter, in between the trenches. Everybody's sweating and whatnot, but still one of the cooler week 1s that we've seen in the past. But I think it's just the physicality and how hard you're exerting yourself when you're out there on the field in between the lines, Scott, that causes some of this cramping.
Well, you have 3 seniors on this offensive line, and, they're for the Glads, and they are definitely dishing it out. So this defense for the Elks is having to work hard for sure. Shout out to my brother, my big bro, who also played for the Trojans. He's watching from Kingsley. Hey, bro. And I had one other one, and now I've misplaced it, but that's okay. I'll get back to it.
Kingsley, that's who Elk Rapids got in a couple weeks.
Oh, boy.
Right back here. Takes the snap. St. Peter's is going to hand this one off up the middle, and tripped up after a small gain brings us to a 2nd down and 7. More of that running tackle made by Brody Turner.
Yeah, Brody Turner and Cooper Sellers, they're going to exchange, or they might have already exchanged chips on their shoulder pads. Sellers probably got a couple black chips from the jersey of Turner because they've been colliding frequently so far in this one.
So 2nd down, just past the Elk Rapids 45-yard line at the 43. Takes the snap. They are throwing. That out route's caught by Peterson, and he is hit hard and brought down. Not enough for a first down. It'll be a 3rd and short. Tough hit.
Yeah, you heard Christian's visceral reaction to that one. Man, Christian, I tell you what, you about jumped out of the bleachers.
You know, being down here, you're closer to the field and you actually hear some of the action a little better. Fans out here, you're hearing those oohs and ahs too.
And Peterson just took it like a champ. So it's 3rd down and short, needing that 35-yard line for a first down. Quickly into formation, takes the snap. They go to the ground on a delayed handoff. Peterson wants the edge. Will he get it? He will not. A very good tackle by the running back on the other side. Tackling the running back here, Colin McCormick, with a beautiful tackle to bring up 4th down and about 4.
Excellent open field tackle there from McCormick. He was kind of the last man there on the edge to seal the edge and able to get that tackle and stop what was otherwise a pretty healthy St. Francis drive.
Do we see a punt here? I know it's short distance, your plus side of the field. It's a 1-score game. Could risk it and go for it, and that's kind of what they're lining up to do right now.
Probably a squib, but maybe not. I mean, their defense is held up, so they can take a chance here.
Under center, St. Peter. He is going to jump throw it to the middle of the field. That worked really well. A great catch by number 10, Elias Young.
St. Peter's pass
and that
complete.
Is enough for a first down. So they did decide to go for it, and it worked.
The great play design there from the Gladiators, getting everyone to look to the left instead, throwing it to a wide open button hook over the middle.
It's almost kind of a no-look pass he made to the middle of the field there.
Yeah, just get to your spot and he'll throw it to you. The great thing, you know, at 5'8", seeing him do that jump pass.
Yeah, Scott, I've been doing Gladiator for football for 4 years, and I've never seen that play before.
Right, that's a first for me as well.
Showing some of the new plays out of the playbook early here.
And this is a drive right now that the Gladiators can really try to hammer this one away if they're able to put some more points on the board, make it a 2-possession lead.
Definitely.
Time.
I was going to say, time for a timeout. Definitely confusion. He didn't quite get the play called in time, so coach calls timeout. Let's regroup. We don't want to lose the momentum we have going right here. Come to the sidelines. Let's regroup, figure out what we need to do, and get her done.
I mean, Christian, you're down there, and right now, Elk Rapids just feels like they're trying to hang in there, almost like they're back against the ropes right now, a fighter in the later stages of a boxing match. What are you feeling right now from the crowd?
I mean, a little bit of quietness now that this Gladiators offense has pushed past the 40-yard line with that last 4th down conversion. But, I mean, the Elks, one stop here. I mean, this crowd is right back in it, and it's still a 1-possession game right now, right? So a stop here. You've already taken a 2-point conversion that didn't work. Let's just say, you know, the math is in your favor right now if you're the Elks, but you need to get a stop.
Absolutely. You got to get a stop, and if you're the Gladiators and you can continue running the ball, working this clock, that was a huge 4th down conversion. Can't really stress it enough. And ability to keep possession of the football and potentially run another 3-4 minutes off of the clock. Do the Elks have one more stand left in them?
I mean, they're going to need it at this point. So it's 1st and 10. Ball sits at the 28. Takes the snap. St. Peter keeps it again. He's got wide open grass right up the middle. And that is going to get him very close to a first down.
Yeah, that's some great blocking up front. And also some lack in discipline as these defensive linemen are getting tired. They're letting the offensive guards block them in the direction they need to. I mean, honestly, well, probably not. But I could have run up that gap. That was huge. So well played.
Keegan Keel on the tackle. 2nd and short. These run plays taking time off the clock and time away from the Elk Rapid offense takes the snap. Ground game. Sellers met, but he's got a first down.
Yeah, great job coming over from his linebacker position there to fill the hole and make the stop. I mean, you got to talk about Brody Turner playing one heck of a defensive game. He was there to make that sure-handed tackle. But as you said, Evan, good enough for a first down.
And you just got to find a way at this point. This is where you got to dig deep in these early games. Find a way to get a stop. Find a way to get off the field without allowing any points because you're running out of time. If they score a touchdown, you're going to need as much time as you can to score twice. Takes the snap. St. Peter hands this one off, and not much there on the play. Colin Shockley on the tackle.
Well defended, and when we talk about defenders, we look at the chat. The one and only, one of the best defenders we ever had at St. Francis, Mr. Joe Carriage, saying we are back. It's great that you're part of this broadcast. Thank you, sir. Good luck down there in Lansing.
Absolutely. Next week, Elks will be on the road at Grayling.
Okay.
Traverse City St. Francis home versus Ogemaw Heights. So both teams with some good opponents coming up on the schedule.
Motion comes. St. Peter's takes the snap. He will keep it, and he's just met right away in the backfield. Going to go for probably a loss of a yard. Luke Schulte on the tackle, and it's a now. This is the situation you wanted to be in if you are Elk Rapids. You're coming up with a third down and long defensively, and you got a chance to hold them to a decision here on maybe a field goal or not.
If I'm coach, I'm calling a couple offensive runs just to run time off that clock. You're feeling pretty good about your defense, so just pound it down their throat.
Big situation here defensively for the Elks. Got to find a way to get this to 4th and long. Takes the snap, looks, throws, and the out route to Peterson is through his hands and incomplete.
I tell you what, got to give credit to Austin Ton there. Let's go ahead and see a replay of that one, gentlemen, because Austin Ton gets out there from his defensive end position and just wrecks this play, gets his hands on the pass. Otherwise, if Peterson catches that, he's got a lead blocker out in front. And you see it right here.
Forces that off balance throw, and that throw was not as perfect as St. Peter wanted it.
Well, plus you're trying to throw over the trees again, as we were talking about during the halftime.
Yeah, we don't have it officially listed, but I would venture to say Austin Ton's got to be at least 6'4".
Maybe they brought him over from the basketball team. I know we have a couple for sure.
Here's 4th and 10 now.
This could be considered the play of the game right here. St. Peter, 3 wide receivers to his left. He's going to throw. He's got time. Stepping up, losing time, throwing to the end zone, and it's batted away. Great defense. Panawanaket with a great defensive deflection, and they did enough to force a turnover on downs, and that is the stop Elk Rapids needed.
Yeah, it was Peter Wanaquat, and I also believe Keel was in on that incompletion, forcing that pass break up. And for Elk Rapids, that's what you need. They're down by 8 points, 6:19 left to go. This is exactly what Elk Rapids would want, given the opportunity to tie this game up on their home field in week 1.
And this is you're probably in a situation where it could be 4 downs the rest of the way just because of the amount of chances that you don't have. And we're going to have a timeout, Elk Rapids. Maybe that's also a situation, not going to have that timeout late in the game now that they call one here with 6:19 to go before the first snap of this drive.
Well, as we've got a timeout on the field, we're going to keep it right here and tell you about TC Travel Long-Term Park and Detailing. Hey, your car, it deserves a first-class treatment, just like you deserve first-class coverage of high school football all season long on Next Level Broadcasting. And TC Travel, they want you to know that they offer premium detailing packages available any scheduled day, even during your vacation when you fly out of TVC. That's TC Travel Long-Term Park and Detailing at 1407 Industry Drive in Traverse City. And one of the really cool events that I want to mention here, TC Travel found their advertisement through Next Level Broadcasting via the silent auction at the Gladiators.
Oh, there you go.
So if you're a local business in support of the Glads and you want to get an ad, you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, purchase that at the Gladiators, support the school, and then get an ad here on the game.
Takes a snap, Parrish will throw. It's an out route, and it's through the hands of Elias Young. Again, that's another missed opportunity by the defense. They've had a couple of those plays today where they could have intercepted. That one would have been a pick six.
Yeah, can we see that one again here? They tried to run this tunnel screen, and
you'll also see that the snap was low.
Yeah.
So he had to pick it up, catch it low and try and get back into position, and definitely threw him off from that making a good pass.
Yeah, Parrish has to make sure he's under control, especially in what we can consider like a 6-minute drill here, just to get in the end zone once. They sit 2nd and 10. 3 wide receivers to the right. Takes the snap, rolling out, looking to throw back across the middle. That was the play that they scored the touchdown on earlier, and they're going to say that hit the ground. It's incomplete.
Yeah, it was Jake Moore, the intended target. He was covered by Levi Muma, and Jake Moore took a shot, and it looked like Muma, in an attempt to break up that pass, maybe gave an inadvertent shoulder to Jake Moore, and Moore is down and getting some attention. Hopefully he's able to get up, but he took a lick from Muma as he was coming across the middle.
I almost thought it might have been helmet to helmet.
It looked like it looked close to it from our initial glance.
Certainly wasn't targeting, but sometimes that just happens. Some of these penalties that they'll call in the NFL for targeting and whatever. I mean, you're running, you're full speed, things happen. That is part of this game. So hopefully, he's okay and everything is.
We see him moving around a lot. And they're going out to check on him as both trainers, one for Elk Rapids, one for St. Francis. Also, Dr. Kerr for the Gladiators has joined them out there as they attend to Jake Moore. We're going to go ahead and send it to a commercial break. As Jake Moore gets the attention that he needs. We'll be back on Next Level Broadcasting after these messages.
Now at Jimmy John's, for just $5 you can get a Vito the Pepe. An 8-inch sandwich for $5.99. What is this, the 90s? Hold on, my CD's skipping. The $5.99 sandwich deal at Jimmy John's. Oh, that's good.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC Airport. We're proud to help keep you connected to high school sports in Northern Michigan, so you can stay in the game all season long with TVC, your Northern Michigan connection.
Why are people switching to Surf Internet? They want faster speeds, reliable service, and no hassles. Make the switch today and enjoy Surf's fiber-fast internet like these customers do. Fiber-fast internet plans start at just $30 a month with no contracts and all-in pricing. Visit surfinternet.com.
Good to see Moore back on his feet. He definitely took one hard hit, and they have the cart out there for him as of right now. He's not going to want the cart. He's going to walk off the field himself.
It's a warrior.
Shaking up on the play. I mean, those catch you off guard. I don't know if anyone's ever run into a moving car. But, yeah, that hurts, and it looks like he's going to be, well, he is a little wobbly still.
He is definitely being helped off the field, but it seems good that he seems good enough to where it's good to see that he did not want the cart ride. He felt good enough to walk off the field himself. But now Elk Rapids is going to have to try to make this comeback a man down.
I've got to update the Howell West game. Howell 34, West, TC West 21. 35-21.
Okay, so it sounds like, was that game down in Howell?
That's a great question.
We'll have to ask the YouTube chat to give us the support we need here on that one. We don't want to spread fake news.
So a couple of incompletions to start this drive. 3rd down and 10. You basically got 2 tries at this point to get this. Takes the snap, end of round handoff to Pamaquat, and he will get
the ball carrier.
2 or 3, 4 yards somewhere in there. It's not enough. It's 4th down. And now a decision.
They're trying to get the ball into their playmakers, see if they can make a play.
Absolutely, Christian. I was just going to say, Peter Wanacquat, anytime he touches the ball, it seems like the whole crowd holds its collective breath. I mean, even that was only a 4-yard gain. He had the speed, he had the spin move in there. Looks like Elks are lining up to punt it away under 6 to play in the 4th.
Okay, Dan Campbell, fake punt.
I think they should have just went for it overall. We're going to get a timeout by Elk Rapids. That's their second timeout. They've only got 1 remaining, and now that almost makes this punt decision seem less of a good call because they can only stop the clock 1 more time.
Well, here's the thing. If you can only stop the clock 1 more time, you punt it, you're really hoping for a 3 and out. If St. Francis gets 1 first down and is able to reset the chains, then you're looking at maybe only getting the ball back with less than a minute 20.
Yeah.
If St. Francis is able to get 1 set of first downs.
You almost feel like they're using that timeout as a risk. Maybe they want to go for it now. Maybe they just saw something. I don't know.
Got a little follow-up from the chat. Dante says, yes, it is in
Howell.
Yeah. Thank you for that, sir. I earlier called Carriage, one of our best defenders, who went on to play for the Packers. Obviously, I don't know what I was thinking.
Sure. Well, hey, we want to tell you somebody who is thinking. That's Orion Beningo with Professional Seamless Gutters. Your home gutters are always there for you, and when you need them most. That's Orion Beningo, and that's why he started Professional Seamless Gutters. We're going to get to this after this 4th down play here.
Which looks like they're lined up in that punt formation again. Sellers back deep. And we will see the ball kicked away. This one's fighting back towards the 50-yard line. It's going to take a Traverse City St. Francis bounce and die at about the 44-yard line of Elk Rapids.
So as I was saying there, Professional Seamless Gutters. Your home gutters are always there when you need them to be. And so is our good friend Orion Beningo, which is why he started Professional Seamless Gutters. Professional Seamless Gutters offers fast and experienced and real-time quotes, but wait, there's more. They'll actually answer your phone call. So when you call Orion at Professional Seamless Gutters, you get him, Orion, not a call forwarding service or an intern. It will be Orion. He'll answer your call. He'll come and put gutters on your home. You will be happy. That's Professional Seamless Gutters with Orion Beningo.
So here we go, 1st down and 10. Big defensive possession up here. They go on the ground with Sellers.
Sellers, the ball carrier.
He gets to the 41, gain of 4 on the play. Gatlin Zorwa on the tackle.
I've always said if you can get 4 downs every time, that's all you got to do, right? So you keep that play working, just go with it, run the clock down, and it'll be Elk Rapids' challenge to stop them.
And like you just said, run the clock. They're probably not going to be snapping this football until there's under 10 seconds on that play clock.
See if your senior leadership can calm down your sophomore and say, hey, take your time. You're good. It looks like this is a very heady player. He's smart.
They're waiting for that referee to throw the hand up, signaling the end of the play clock.
Ball on the ground again. And this is going to put them about a yard short on the carry. Muma on the carry puts them, it looks more to be maybe 2 or 3 yards short. And here we go again, another big defensive play for Elk Rapids.
Yeah, huge play for Elk Rapids. If they can get a stop here, they can get the ball back before 3 minutes and 30 seconds. But you got to imagine maybe 4 down territory for the Gladiators as well.
Especially being this close to that 1st down marker at the 35-yard line. St. Peter waiting for that back judge to put up his hand and count down from 10. There it goes, takes the snap, bunch of trickery. Sellers has it. Sellers has the 1st down to the 31-yard line.
Geez, somebody came in there like a submarine from the back.
Yep, that was Keegan Keel. He came in there like a rocket.
Zawara was in on that as well.
Yeah.
Just a good group tackle, at least 3 of them on him. Now you're going to want to do that with Sellers. He's stronger this year, and he's faster.
Good enough for a Gladiator.
Well, while we have one more time here, we want to thank our friends serving Charlevoix and Elk Rapids area, Bingham Insurance. I know a little something about managing risk, and whether it's a home, life, pet, auto, Bingham Insurance in Elk Rapids and Charlevoix, here to help you cover what matters most. And trying to cover the Gladiators are the Elks here with 3:30 remaining, Evan. This is one of those situations where the Elks need to stop the Gladiators here and cannot give up another first down.
They're running out of time. Takes the snap, ball back to the ground. This carry's going to go for another big 8-9 yard run.
That was Bennett, wasn't it? Bennett Frederick?
It was.
Frederick, the ball
Frederick,
carrier.
his third carry of the game.
And he carried defenders with him.
Host of Elks.
Again, the coach said he put on 10 pounds of muscle. That was strength. That was just driving those legs. Even though they had their arms wrapped around him, he dragged them down the field.
Those runs to Frederick are so quick hitting
Yes.
that the defense almost can't react in time to know what's hitting them.
Got to find a way to push him back here on second down and just a yard. Under center with that 3 tailback set, just like we've seen all game. Takes the snap, ball to the ground. It's Peterson. Peterson up the middle, first down inside the 20, inside the 15, and down at the 14. That's a first down with about 3 minutes remaining. And if you're Elk Rapids, you're really starting to sweat on that sideline.
Hey, you know, I got a chat on here. When I grow up, I want to be like Cooper Zellers. That's not a bad goal.
That's not a bad goal.
You know, far and beyond what a great player he is. I happen to know him, and he's a great young man as well.
Wonder if that's one of his brothers. Think it could be one of his Seller brothers?
Well, I mean, if they're smart, they want to be like their big brother.
Needing about just another 10 yards will do it. They go on the ground. It's Bennett again. He's now getting a few more touches late game. Second down coming up. Ball ticked close to that 10-yard line.
Tackled by the interior line.
Bennett Frederick, he's listed on the roster at 5'9".
Brings up second
I think
down
he's
5.
closer to 5'8", guys. I mean, you cannot see him behind that offensive line. And whenever he gets a touch, it's 4 yards before the defense knows he has the ball.
Maybe 5'8.5".
Okay.
I was going to say 5'8.5". Another big play here. Elk Rapids just trying to maybe force a fumble at this point. Ball is out of the hands and on the ground with Peterson. He's up the middle and just short of the goal line. He's down at the 1.
Peterson, the ball carrier.
I got to say this. I've been impressed with the physicality and the tackling so far in this game, both ways. It's week 1. I don't want to belabor the point, but typically tackling isn't this far advanced with form, technique going on in week 1, such early games. And Elk Rapids, their second-level defenders between Peter Wanaquat and Keel, and also Moore, Schulte, Turner especially, you know, all those guys are sure-handed tacklers. But right now, Gladiators with the ball on the 1.
Snap, give, Bennett up the middle and into the end zone. Touchdown, Traverse City St. Francis.
Touchdown.
Bennett Frederick on the run. And that one might just put it away.
Yeah, Bennett Frederick, he was the catalyst for the last couple of big downs that they needed. This time it was a 1-yard touchdown plunge. Bennett Frederick, I believe, scoring his first varsity touchdown as he gets on the board. And Christian will bring you in. You can kind of feel the deflation here within the Elk Rapids faithful on the sideline.
Yeah, the crowd has started shuffling out of here, and what was a strong first half defensively, and even most of the second half, I would say there, Charles and crew, there was defensively a pretty solid effort here from the Elks, but that continues what we saw a lot of last year from them. They had a couple of good defensive outings, just not enough to keep the Glads at bay for tonight.
That extra point was actually no good, by the way. So it's 20-6.
20-6. All the same, Tyler Stammy, new to St. Francis this year. I hear great things about him, working hard, and has a pretty solid boot. I bet you that comes into play later on in the season as we see close games where we just need that field goal to come in.
And now if you're the, and Christian, I'll bring you in here. If you are this Elk Rapids offense, what do you do with 38 seconds?
Well, you need to connect on some passes, save some time. I'm thinking maybe some quick 10, 15-yard out routes. Get Panawanaquit maybe in open space. He's your shiftiest player, but with 38 seconds to go, you're gonna have to act quickly. And then not only that, you're gonna have to get an onside kick or a defensive stop of some form. But you know, it's a tall task. But you're gonna have to find maybe some offense here. You move into next week where, you know, you look ahead, but all in all, a solid effort from the Elks tonight. But maybe right now, yeah, get the ball to Panawanaqua on the outside. Get the ball just to the outside to save some time. That way you could use, out of bounds rules and move with what you have.
Yeah, you definitely want to use the sideline as your friend because you need to save as much time per play as possible for this final 38.4 seconds.
If nothing else, maybe you're looking at it as a two-minute drill, last second kind of opportunity to let's practice what we need to do to score with the last seconds in the game.
Ball's away. Return from the 17 by Panawanaqua. He's going to get this one across the 30. 35 is where he's brought down. They might give him the 36. But that is not bad starting field position for a drive that you need to go fast on.
Looked like Ike Klassen's in on that one.
Yeah, Klassen's and Elijah Jaworski coming in to combine on the stop.
I can't see. I'm looking across there, and it looked like I saw a 33, but there's not one on the roster. So,
First and 10 for the
so it's
Elks
obviously
at the
not
own
33, right?
36-yard line.
It must not be. Must not be. Could it have been 53? That would have been Eckler. I don't know.
So here we go. It's a big drive starts here. You want to find a miracle in this game? We've seen miracles in high school football games before. In a situation that needs to start now.
And we've seen big plays by Elk Rapids so far in the game.
You could use another 65-yard touchdown right here on the first play. Deep ball by Parrish down the sideline. Panawanaqua, he's got him. Room to run using the sideline and thrown out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
Parrish is pass complete.
That is a great play.
Nice 40-yard reception, wide open. Got behind our defenders.
41-yard reception. Looking at that replay, he beat everybody deep. I'm not sure what the secondary is doing playing so close up. You know they're going to pass, and it worked perfectly. You got two things there. You got a deep play, and you got out of bounds to stop the clock.
20-yard line, first and 10.
Another injured Elk Rapids player.
So, Scott, you and I last year, and I don't want to bring up any bad memories here for the Traverse City St. Francis Gladiators. You and I were at the Kingsley game last year when St. Francis was up 20-8 or 20-6 with about a minute and a half left in the fourth quarter, and Kingsley scored once, and then they got an onside kick. And then it was all of a sudden a 1-point game. Can the Gladiators close this one out? Obviously, Petawanaqua making a big explosive play. Do the Gladiators have one or two stops left in them so that we don't, or they don't have to relive some of those late game follies that we saw last season?
I think one of the keys here, and one of the learning moments is this defensive backfield is young, and a lot of them are. This is their first chance to be out here. So I kind of like to see them face some adversity in this game, right, where they're up, rather than against the Ogama Heights or someone else. And so, yeah, obviously a stop would be great, but then they're going to get the ball back, ideally, if it's not an onside kick, and then it's up to the offense to run out the clock.
So here we go. After that big play, it's 1st and 10. Rolling out, Parrish. He wants to throw. He throws back across his body to the end zone. It is intercepted, and that is Peterson putting this game on ice.
Yeah, in that case, we had where's our replay? Is that happening? On this one, you're going to see we had like all of our defenders back there, everyone playing outfield.
Take over.
And what happened is Peterson was just there, able to break off and make a great catch, get both feet down.
I think just 1 foot down, Scott.
Yeah,
looking
but
at it,
high school. High school, you get one. That's
still counts. I think he got the left foot down, and then the right came down. It appeared to be out of bounds on our replay, but nonetheless, game-sealing interception. This will be victory formation here for the Gladiators.
As they do go into victory formation, I do not think the Elk Rapid Elks need to hang their head. I think they hung in tough in this football game, and they have a lot to work on. Both sides do. But they need to know that they played themselves a very good football game today despite the outcome.
Absolutely. You cannot feel ashamed if you're Elk Rapids player, coach, parent, or just supporting community member right now. They came out here and they punched first. You know, Jake Moore had that 60-yard touchdown pass. They were up 6-0, and then they just weren't able to muster up another big explosive play and have sustained offensive success against the Gladiators set defense.
And I think that we saw a really good way to start our next level broadcasting system with two great teams putting our schedule on notice, where everybody will be now moving away. At least our broadcast booths will go our separate ways. But we're not done. We have a post-game show to get to, and we will get to that next on Next Level Broadcasting.
Now at Jimmy John's for just $99, a Vita or the Pepe. An 8-inch sandwich for $5.99. What is this, the 90s? Hold on, my CD's skipping. The $5.99 sandwich deal at Jimmy John's. Oh, that's good.
Discover Travers Catholic Federal Credit Union in Traverse City. We make banking secure and convenient with biometric logins and remote deposit capture. Whether you need loans, mortgages, or credit cards, we've got you covered. Manage your finances effortlessly with our online banking services. Grow your savings with our competitive rates and savings products. Experience the difference with Travers Catholic Federal Credit Union. Visit tcfedcu.org for more.
Hi, I'm Orion, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installations, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike other service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding your gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC Airport. We're proud to help keep you connected to high school sports in Northern Michigan, so you can stay in the game all season long with TVC, your Northern Michigan connection.
So are you doing anything special for your kid's grad party? No, I don't have anything planned. What did you do?
We had Next Level Broadcasting make us a career highlights video for our son and daughter.
They did all the editing, sourcing, and then emailed it when it was finished. It turned out great. And we didn't have to deal with the video editing frustration.
Wow, what a cool idea. I bet my son would love something like that. I'll have to reach out to Next Level Broadcasting and see what they can do for me.
Today's game has been brought to you by Alpers Excavating, Bingham Insurance Services Auto Owners, Professional Seamless Gutters, TVC Cherry Capital Airport, Jimmy John's, Surf Internet, Travers Catholic Federal Credit Union, Edward Jones, Justin Liptak Agency, Pop Excavating, TC Travel, Long-Term Parking and Detailing, and Carter & Associates Farm Bureau Insurance.
Hey, Dad, brought you some popcorn. You should relax. You worked so hard for us.
What happened?
It's a little fender bender, but Mom already filed a claim with our agent, and we can track the status right from the app. Auto owners pays what they owe without any hassle.
Sounds like simple human sense. Well played.
Ask Bingham Insurance Services in Charlevoix if auto owners make sense for you.
Discover Travers Catholic Federal Credit Union in Traverse City. We make banking secure and convenient with biometric logins and remote deposit capture. Whether you need loans, mortgages, or credit cards, we've got you covered. Manage your finances effortlessly with our online banking services. Grow your savings with our competitive rates and savings products. Experience the difference with Travers Catholic Federal Credit Union. Visit tcfedcu.org for more.
Okay, welcome in everybody to the Traverse Catholic Federal Credit Union postgame show. Christian Swinsicki, Charles Strail, we got John David Carlson and Cooper Sellers here. Scott Carter joining us all the way down at the end of the panel. Guys, really good way to start the season. Tell us a little bit about what it was like just to play a team with a different colored jersey on. We'll start with you, John.
All right. Well, it's been a while since we played Elk Rapids. They put us on their schedule, and we knew we had to come out physically and like really hard because we knew they really wanted to beat us. So we just gave it all we could.
Yeah, obviously, they came out, punched first, had a 60-yard touchdown pass, just a little pop pass that they hit for a big play. Cooper, if you're able to do so, talk to us a little bit about what you need to do when an explosive play happens like that, how you kind of get back on the horse.
Yeah, we just we try to limit explosive plays as much as we can, but if they happen, they happen. And we just got to learn from it, reset as a team, and then we got to punch right back. Like, you can't back down. You got to answer the touchdown, and that's what we did. So.
Absolutely. John, I'm going to go back to you.
Yeah.
You mentioned it a little bit earlier in passing, I think. But Elk Rapids is one of the traditional teams that you're used to seeing on the Lake Michigan Conference. Talk about what it's like. You said they put us on the schedule, and they obviously came out and weren't afraid to play. Credit to them. I thought that they played a really good game defensively. What were you seeing from them that was like, maybe what you haven't seen in years past, where there was a physicality, just execution, or what were you seeing up front that seemed different about this Elk Rapids team?
I could see they were like really alive, really excited to play us, and we had to match that like intensity. We just had to come at and just fire off the ball and like be more physical than them.
Absolutely. Christian, I know you had a couple questions for these guys. Go ahead.
I absolutely did. I was going to ask, going into this season, you guys had a brutal schedule. Well, on paper, what looked like a brutal schedule. I'm sure Coach went into week one saying every game's going to be the same, though. But looking ahead, you guys are going to keep that same mentality, I imagine. It's just one game at a time, huh?
Yeah, it's definitely one game at a time mindset. We don't look forward to the next game. We focus on the game week, and we put in the work.
Cooper, go ahead and talk about your sophomore quarterback there, the moxie and the poise that John St. Peter was able to show tonight in his first true varsity start at quarterback.
Yeah, so coming into the summer, we knew he was going to kind of be around the varsity and really be a starting quarterback candidate. And with transfer Tyler Stammy, there's kind of a battle there,
sure,
which pushed him to be better. So he really picked up the offense really quickly, and I'm proud of him. And I've just been kind of there to help him if he needs it with play calling or anything. I reminded him before the game, keep that swagger because he's kind of got that, baseball state championship, everything. So that's just what he's an athlete, and we love him at quarterback, and he's picked it up really well.
Yeah, to put another feather in his cap, this was a freshman who started on a state championship winning baseball team. So goes to say that he's, definitely got confidence beyond his stature.
Yeah.
So
he did get in on a couple plays last year.
Yeah.
Right? So it was probably nice for him to be able to get up there. And how important you guys, JD and Coop, your leadership as seniors, and all these people who weren't necessarily leaders last year as underclassmen, now as seniors. Tell me about the aura, the culture of your seniors. You've all been around the game for so long, but it's now your turn to lead. And how important is that with, for instance, a sophomore quarterback?
Yeah, so last year, I guess a lot of the juniors, they weren't really as much vocal leaders as they were by example. So last year I didn't really have to say much. That was for the seniors, so I would just lead by how I would play on the field. This year it's a lot more vocal, getting the guys rallied, getting them focused. Like on those last few drives, I'm telling them we got to lock in. This is where, we win the game. And then we got a talented junior class that came up, and they accept the leadership very well, and they all buy in, and that just makes it so much easier to lead.
Cooper, going into the season, you went on 9-10, and you were saying, hey, we lost by 50 last year in the playoffs. This year we're trying to win by 50 every game. Wasn't by 50 today. How are we looking to build on offense going into the future?
Yeah, so I felt like we came out kind of timid. We had a lot of nerves, playing on the road week one. We looked unsure of ourselves at some points, but and it was almost like we shot ourselves in the foot. Like, they weren't stopping us. It was those flags. Like, we'd move the ball, and then it'd be a holding, and then just kill our drive. So definitely from week 1 to week 2, we need to work on us. We don't need to worry about the opponent as much. It's just limiting the mistakes that we made on offense today.
So next question here, I'll go with you, John. you will already have scrimmaged Ogama Heights, and you play them in 8 days' time from now at 4:30 in the afternoon. So you've got a lot of things that are way different than what you would traditionally expect for a football game to be. Talk about the mindset and mentality that you need to have to, A, enjoy this one, learn from it, but then get ready to face an opponent that you played last week during a scrimmage.
Yeah, so kind of the mentality is enjoy it tonight, be critical of yourself in film tomorrow, and then get after it. Like, we need to go hard all week and, like, just, like, build and, like, you just got to be better for ourselves.
Absolutely. Scott, Christian, any final thoughts?
No, I mean, good job today, gentlemen. Hey, excellent season opener. Hoping to a healthy season. You know, it can't be like last year, the years prior. Let's hope for health, and let's hope for some good offense, and hope good defense and good records going ahead.
We're already seeing great improvement with you guys and growth and that sort of thing. So now we're looking for that senior leadership we talked about to help all those underclassmen step up and take leadership and grow. So we're very excited to watch you guys grow into a successful team.
Yeah.
Great job tonight. A W is a W.
Yeah, congratulations, gentlemen.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us, John, Cooper, for all of us here at Next Level Broadcast. And that's going to conclude today's broadcast. We want to give one final shout-out to all of our crew members here that made this game possible. We want to give a shout-out to Cameron Brendenberger running the 1s and 2s to go along with Quentin Carr, the men behind the scenes, Ryan Bentley, Christian Swinsicki, Evan Firmo, Charles Trail, and Scott Carter bringing this one to you here on Next Level Broadcasting. We are back as football is here in 2026, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to send it out to break. Coming up tomorrow on Next Level Broadcasting, Charlevoix Raiders and East Jordan Red Devils. That one gets going at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in because at halftime, we'll also have the #1 play from 2025 coming at you live at halftime of that one. Good night from Elk Rapids. We'll see you later. Today's game heading: Bingham Insurance Services Auto Owners, Professional Seamless Gutters, TVC Cherry Capital Airport, Jimmy John's, Surf Internet, Travers Catholic Federal Credit Union, Edward Jones, Justin Liptak Agency, Pop Excavating, TC Travel, Long-Term Parking and Detailing, and Carter & Associates Farm Bureau Insurance. Today's game has been brought to you by Alpers Excavating, Bingham Insurance Services Auto Owners, Professional Seamless Gutters, TVC Cherry Capital Airport, Jimmy John's, Surf Internet, Travers Catholic Federal Credit Union, Edward Jones, Justin Liptak Agency, Pop Excavating, TC Travel, Long-Term Parking and Detailing, and Carter & Associates Farm Bureau Insurance.